told me stop it. So much hate, it made me nauseous. Worked in silence, made me cautious. I exerted every option, count me out. Must think I lost it, losing sleep. Somehow I fought it. I heard life was a box of chocolates. Ain't shit sweet round here, it's toxic. Made the most of what we got. We go hard, been through a lot, so we party till we drop. Tell the neighbors it won't stop. Watch your shorty hit me up on days I need to pick me up. I just wanna live it up. Can somebody lift me up?
Tell me somebody how long he will be on my mind. He will be on my mind. On my mind. On my mind.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second week. I know what I'm talking about, a CCL. I'm Colby,
And I'm Caleb.
and tonight we have DSU versus North Dakota, UND.
Yes.
Yes.
University of North Dakota.
Yes. I definitely know what I'm talking about. It's not like I run the scene or something like that.
Nice.
So last week was SDSU. Very tough competition from SDSU boys. But very good first showing for our DSU for our guys here on CCL. This match tonight should be very competitive and a very good showing from both teams. So
Yeah, DSU is definitely going to look to improve on last week as it was a rough one. But they have some roster changes this semester, so they're improving every week.
Definitely. And if you did catch our Saturday stream, DSU boys were looking really good against North Dakota State, which is also in our CCL league. So we will be seeing more matches against them here in the upcoming future.
Yes, that was a really fun series to watch. Went
It
all
was.
3 games, but
Mhm.
DSU did pull out the win with the 2-1.
With the Samara Tom Kench bot
With
lane.
the Samira Tompkins
Yep.
bot lane.
So, yeah.
Some insider info. I found out that DSU's bot lane was ecstatic when they found out that Samira's ults and Tom Kench Eat work together extremely well. I found out that afterwards they were like screaming at the fact that it worked. They had no idea going into it.
I knew it was like considered a bug, I believe, for a while, but then everybody just kind of forgot about it. So
Yeah, it's a little strange, but I mean, I guess DSU big brain.
DSU big brain. Just technically better.
Technically better.
It looks like we're actually maybe look like we're waiting for one more person on the side of UND. PC issues. Typical. It happens. This is why we don't start super early, because I don't know what to talk about. Upcoming games, yes. We have a Smash stream happening this Wednesday. We'll probably also say this at the end of the stream, so if you guys forget. But we have Smash stream coming up this Wednesday, starting at about 6:15 is usually the normal time they start. And then we will have Rocket League, which got moved to Friday at
5 p.m., I believe, is what I saw.
That's the last I saw, is 5 p.m. as well. And then...
So no stream on Tuesday.
No.
But the Rocket League's on Friday now. Valorant will be happening on Sunday. The time actually might be changed to 9 o'clock, possibly.
Oh, pushing in an hour back.
Due to scheduling with our other league, having to play back-to-back series, so that could be fun.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And then we're back to the normal schedule. It should be League on Monday and Rocket League Tuesday.
We are unfortunately done with our CCL league. We ended 3-3, so the very nice even showing from our boys. But yes, so that is over. We unfortunately didn't make playoffs, but it was still a fun series for everybody involved. And so Saturdays are pretty free from league now.
But now what are you taking a part of?
We might be joining a tournament called the Timo Cup that CCL also performs, but you didn't hear it from me, but we haven't gotten information yet, so it's not fully confirmed yet.
I mean, I don't know. That league kind of sounds terrible the way it is. Timo. Why would you want to be involved with the Timo Cup?
True. It's just really nice practice for everybody involved, though. Sure. There's actually a lot of big names in CCL. Like, we went against Ohio State one weekend.
Yeah.
And there's like Maryville got to finals. Like a lot of like big name schools that got to finals. So really really nice league. It's also Riot sanctioned, so we're able to get league unlocked, which helps everybody, especially if you don't own all champs.
Yeah, and for those that get their accounts banned and stuff like that.
Yeah. A temp top? Do you mean Timo top?
It auto-corrected.
I know, I kind of figured. Yeah, let's see some Timo top getting pulled out.
Basically, the entire league team is in the chat right now.
Yeah, probably. It's just early pre-game warm-ups, maybe pre-game rallying. That's the correct words.
Yep, there you go.
There we
Do
go.
we have any updates on game state as of right now?
It looks like we're still waiting for one more. So, is that a draft lull? It looks like maybe.
That's a YouTube link.
Don't click on that. Oh, definitely pull out the Timo. Let him know who's boss on that Timo. Never seen him play Timo.
We could hop over to a break for a little bit till we get the things resolved.
Yeah, let's hop over.
That's what we'll go for.
Yeah, just a couple minute break here, so we're not running out of content. So catch you in a few minutes.
Well, I woke up on the lobby floor. Yeah, last night was some kind of war. I'm coming down like a waterfall. I check my phone, but you never call. Lost in the ceiling, caught up in this feeling. I can't seem to let it go. Locked in this cage, I've been stuck here for days, and I can't seem to let you go. You pull me up and I put you down. You gave me love, then I stole your crown. You let me in, then I pushed you out. Pushed you out. Come let me make up for all these pain. I've been a mess, tied by all these chains. Open my eyes, now I finally see. Shut the key, yeah. Can we be free? You pull me up, yeah. Can we be free? And I put you down. Woke up and saw everything but you next to me. I know that I've been the enemy, but I've had my moment of clarity. Lost in the ceiling, caught up in this feeling. I can't seem to let it go. Locked in this cage, I've been stuck here for days, and I can't seem to let you go. You pull me up and I put you down. You gave me love, then I stole your crown.
We're back. We were just told that we should be getting into draft here in like seconds. So, so we should be getting into draft, and if not, don't blame us.
Yeah, we're really excited to watch these games. Get into draft here. We're expecting, probably DSU will continue to play or draft how they have been for the hyperscaling late. Maybe aggressive bot lane.
I think her damage has gone down the past week or so, but Tristana's damage has been extremely high recently. So I wouldn't be surprised if DSU maybe looks at drafting a Tristana this game or these games. But I could be extremely wrong.
The UND with the Victor ban to start things off, targeted towards
Crimson.
Crimson.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's been playing that quite a bit the past couple weeks, so
Lots of success on that.
yeah, very good. Victor's just a really high damage champ overall, so even if nobody did play it, it's still a very good man to choose.
Leona coming out from DSU. Maybe a target ban. Maybe they want to play a bot lane that doesn't want to play against Leona.
Yeah, and say if they want to run Samara Tom Kent, Leona's a huge counter to Samara, so Leona's a really good ban here.
The instant Vlad ban from UND prepared to just ban out Crimson in this game, I guess.
Yeah, looks like maybe their mid laner isn't the strongest, so they're just trying to help him as much as he can.
Yeah, the Xin ban for DSU.
Mm-hmm.
DSU doesn't really play jungles that can fight Xin, so that makes sense.
It's a really good ban on the side of DSU because High Weeb Alert's champion pool are mainly consistent of tanks, and Xin Zhao can win early against almost all of those tanks. So
Except for Trundle.
Except for Trundle, yes. He did pull that out Saturday, actually, and had really good success with it.
Yes, I'm actually hoping to see it today.
So Zuri ban inside of UND, which makes sense. A super hyper scaling ADC, and Dragons and Hunters had amazing luck on that champion. With the games. Well, okay, amazing skill on the champion.
There you go.
But has done very well on the champion the past couple times that he's pulled it out, and I think I've seen it banned almost ever since. And then Jinx on the side of DSU, just another hyper scaling ADC.
Which DSU doesn't have first pick, so they have to ban Jinx.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Zaya's going to be the first pick for UND, which is very interesting.
I think UND has a plan, and this plan was already ready beforehand because they are insta-picking and insta-banning it so far.
Yeah, which, I mean, is always great to have a plan, and having that extra, I think it was 10 minutes, about 13 minutes to talk about it isn't bad. We see the Amumu pick, not Trundle.
Did they they did select it.
Yeah, they did select
interesting.
it.
Trundle was open.
I would say maybe High Weeb Alert just felt more comfortable on the Amumu, especially for this first game. And there's the Tom Kent, like we were saying. Maybe they are going for that Samara like I was talking about. I'm assuming we'll see a Rakan from the side of UND. It just makes sense that they would first pick Zaya here and not go for the Rakan. It also doesn't make sense why they would first pick Zaya, as nobody really plays Zaya right now.
Yeah, maybe they're looking to save their picks and see what you pick the areas that they don't really care about as much.
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
see whatever DSU is going to pick so they can try to counter that mid and top lane maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it still is a little strange because that is not a priority pick whatsoever.
No, Zaya is just not the greatest in meta right now either. She just is really weak. And Morgana, not Rakan coming out.
They took a long time to just decide that pick too, compared to the other ones. So
they probably wanted Morgana into a Tom Kench for Black Shield probably.
Morgana for Tom Kench and Amumu. I mean,
that too.
They might have wanted Rakan, but then they thought about it for a second. Probably going back and forth there.
Mm-hmm.
One more pick for UND and DSU before the second ban rotation.
And Hecarim.
That is a jungler that is very good right now.
Yes, and something that DSU has had struggles with almost every single game that it's got drafted into them. So this will be a very interesting matchup here in the jungle, as I'm pretty sure Hecarim can win early pretty hard against the Amumu.
Yeah, Mumu doesn't really win much against other junglers.
No.
He has different strengths.
Kind of just hard clear till 3 and then gank, basically, with your 15 bandage tosses.
Mm-hmm.
But we do see Corki being locked in for the side of DSU. A very strong mid laner.
I like this pickup from DSU. They haven't really pulled it out yet, but that Victor was banned, and going for that scaling mid is what they've kind of been playing towards. The Corki is definitely a hyperscale, and I really am looking to see DSU put really good use out of the package this game.
Yeah, and say that's going to be the biggest thing to watch for this Corki is when he takes packages and then how he uses the packages that he takes.
Wow. The Malphite ban for DSU.
And Yasuo.
And the Yasuo. But the Israel coming out from UND, I'm not sure if they have some insight into DSU.
Maybe.
But the Tom, I don't think that was their plan, was to play Israel, but... And the Sivir. Two champions that we have not seen Dragons and Hunter play in quite a while.
I think he actually played Ezreal Saturday, if I'm not
Saturday?
mistaken.
Okay.
But those are both extremely safe champs, and with somebody like Tom Kench, maybe they're just trying to make sure that Dragonstone Hunter can't be extremely safe on these ADC options.
Lucky for them, he doesn't want to play safe,
No.
so they kind of played right into
His trap card.
yes.
And Aphelios actually getting locked in here for this side of DSU. Somebody I haven't seen in ages,
I was
actually.
gonna say, I feel like I haven't seen Dragonstone Hunter play Aphelios in quite a while.
Mhm.
Aphelios is pretty popular in competitive play.
But absolute garbage in solo duo.
Correct.
Honestly, it's probably just because his low mobility, and when you don't have communication with your team, it's hard to actually peel for somebody like that.
Yeah, but I mean they have Tom Kench, so Aphelios might not have mobility, but he has the Brouhaha.
Yeah,
So-
he has Tom Kench eat and everything Tom Kench does, and a Mumu.
And a Mumu.
Yeah, so he'll have definitely a ton of peel this game. So we see Graves locked in. So this can go one of two ways. Either Graves goes top and Hecarim's jungle, or Hecarim's top and Graves jungle. I'm assuming we're seeing Graves.
Most likely, Graves will be going top lane, as that has been a power pick of this patch, or this season so far.
Mhm.
I don't know how good it'll be in this situation, depending on the top lane we pick here, but hovering Trinamir right now.
Oh, and it looks like maybe Mundo?
Yeah,
it looks
that's
like
a
it's going to
Mundo.
be Mundo. All right. A very just nice, safe top lane pick here. Mundo being tanky as all get out, with a way to just gain as much health as you deal to him back. Also with a spell shield now, with when they reworked him. Like,
Yes,
half a
Mundo,
year
the
ago?
character that takes so many hits to kill and lots of health, they decided to give a spell shield to.
yeah. And it also recharges the time when you pick up the little drop that drops. So it's Malzahar shield, but better.
Yes.
Yes.
So definitely a strong character, and is even better than he used to be somehow.
Yeah, because also with his ulti, instead of taking health and then giving you health over time, it gives you a huge chunk of health and then gives you health over time. So overall, it gives you more healing for free.
Yeah.
Like- It just makes zero sense.
Yeah, I really like to see DSU play the Mundo. I'm really hoping to see a TP from the top lane, though, because I think that's the one thing that's
Yeah.
pretty consistent with DSU, with Pop, and he playing Ignite or Ghost even sometimes.
Oh, are you talking about the time he plays Mundo with Ghost?
Yes, that did happen.
That was a misclick. I talked to him afterwards because I questioned it on stream, and he's like, yeah, that was a misclick.
Okay, so we're pretty sure we'll get to see the
TP.
TP here.
I'd say TP should definitely come out in
All right,
Mundo. Probably
that is-
Corki as well.
Yes,
So
that is exciting to see then.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really say anything, but the Orianna was picked up for the mid lane, for the side of UND, which is, she's just a classic, always meta,
Mm-hmm.
basically always meta.
An always meta control mage, and somebody that'll probably be really good into Corki, as
His range is a little bit shorter than hers.
yeah, she'll just be able to harass so much with her ball, her Q, I believe.
Yeah, yep, she will be harassing, but
Mm-hmm.
Corki will be able to move around the map much faster and probably more effectively if using package correctly.
Yeah, because package gives you a huge burst of movement speed when you first take it. So he's able to pick up package, and then be bot in a matter of seconds, and make a huge impact in the bot lane there. So that's going to be the biggest thing on side of DSU, is how well they can roam with that Corki package. And if they're able to do it like really well, get like a couple like really good roams, either bot or top, they can really start snowballing this game really fast.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see DSU use those packages to get dragon control.
That too.
If they can pick up package near dragon or at dragon every single time, I mean that's such a big advantage in that fight. You can literally just ult across and not let them even get into the pits or anything like that.
It's a huge zoning ability, so it
Yeah.
is also something to look out for as well.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll be looking for that. The jungle matchup, as we talked about earlier, is definitely going to be towards the Hecarim over the Amumu, but Amumu in team fights can go really big, and if he can get a big ult, the Aphelios ulti on top of multiple characters of the enemy team is an instant loss for them.
Yeah, definitely. I believe it's Blue Gun that does the most damage when you ulti, his flamethrower.
Yes.
And that can just pop an entire enemy team. And honestly, with Amumu, no matter how many levels you're behind, all you have to do is hit ulti, and you've made a huge impact in a team fight. So
as long as your team is available to
follow up
and take
definitely.
action on it, you've done your job. I mean, and on top of that, we've got the Mundo and the Amumu combo of the tanks. This Corki and Aphelios with the Tom Kench as well. I mean, in general, this is kind of the DSU comps. They kind of run towards 3 tanks most of the time, unless they run like a Lulu or something like that. When is Renata available for CCL?
Next week, actually. I had to actually think about that right before game, because I think DSU really likes playing her, as they did play her in CLOL this Saturday, as CLOL's rules were a little bit different. So I think they're really excited to play her. She's really fun. Me and my friend joke about how her Q is just basically a sticky hand.
That is actually very true.
Yeah, you just grab them and then you yank them somewhere else. But I do want to confirm here that it is Graves top, like we were talking about. So it'll be a Graves Mundo matchup here, which honestly should probably go in Mundo's favor. Because if you think about it, Graves auto attacks don't go through minions. So even though it is range versus melee, Mundo can easily play around the wave to avoid that whole range versus melee.
Yeah, I think I could see this going towards Graves early in the matchup, though, until we hit about 6, and then Mundo should be fine for sure. But those first 5 levels could be volatile, actually.
Yeah, Mundo should be good if he goes QE. If he goes E second, which is his empowered auto attack, and then if he kills a minion or an objective in general, if he kills something in general, it like pushes him like a Scion, like a mini Scion E. I know abilities, but if he picks that up second, he should be able to harass Graves quite well out of lane with that ability.
Yeah, and then finally going down towards the bot lane, we've got the Xayah Morgana versus the Tom Aphelios. DSU, as per usual, will be looking to fight at all points in time, no matter the scenario, winning or losing.
Winning or losing, just run at them. Even though they've had really good luck with it, especially with this bot lane. Aphelios' damage early is kind of lackluster, but once you get him on like the white red gun, it's gonna be really hard for UND.
White red is pretty brutal.
Yeah, yep. It's bad.
I mean, I could also see that they might have picked the Aphelios as well here, just knowing that he has a relatively safe lane because he's playing against the Xayah, who also takes quite a long time to scale.
And somebody like a Tom Kench support will easily be able to abuse the fact that she isn't very mobile, doesn't have a lot of damage, and pre-6 doesn't really have a good way other than the Morgana Black Shield to get out of it. Yeah,
it'll actually really depend on her support, Morgana. If she has the fast hands to hit the shield before the Tom Kench W will come through. If it comes from Fog of War, though, I highly doubt that the Morgana will be fast enough to stop anything.
Yeah, unless they're like standing right on top of each other, it'll be really hard for this Morgana to actually get it.
Yeah. So, overall team comps, we talked about DSU. They got 2 damage dealers and 3 tanks. But on the side of UND, they have 4 damage dealers and 1 bruiser.
5 damage dealers. Hekrum's a damage dealer.
That's fair.
The biggest thing DSU is going to have to worry about this game is Orianna ulti and Hekrum running straight to your backline.
Yes, Hekrum with the ball on him.
That too. I didn't even think about that. That's the biggest reason why DSU has had such a hard time with Hekrums is they're able to get such a good early lead because Hekrum and the tanks usually win that matchup. And then Hekrum just runs into your backline onto your carries, and there's not a whole lot you can do unless you like full CC him, and then the rest of his team can just come in and use all their cooldowns on you when you used all your cooldowns on the Hekrum. So
yeah, I guess the only thing with that is he'll be targeting the Aphelios, but we have Tom Kench R.
Yes.
So whether they want to go for that combo or not. I trust in the Brewhaw Tom Kench to save the day once again, as he's done
definitely.
many times in the past so far. And we are heading into game.
Yeah, looks like we're
Loading in.
loading up. The 3-minute delay is over.
Felt more like 6 minutes or something like that. But
1,000 years. Maybe the delay is over. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Just took a while. We got Mundo, probably my favorite Mundo skin right now. Which is funny that High Weebler actually went Pumpkin Prince because he actually hates that skin. So
nice.
we got Astronaut Corky, Lunar Beast Philios, and Master Chef Tom Kench. It looks like we're gonna get some. I think he makes jambalaya on that skin.
Yes.
On his recall, so it looks like we're gonna get some nice cooking lessons from Tom Kench here.
We've got the Prestige Edition bot lane from UND.
Yeah, both of them flashing off how much they love these champions. And we also had Arcade Hecarim, which is the only Hecarim skin in my opinion. Because look at that Guitar Hero guitar. Alright. So, one thing I really want to see is DSU has started to 5-point now instead of invading. And I say that as they're going to invade.
Colby should not have said a word there, as the game is doing the DSU is doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, but are they trying to death push again? They tried to do this Saturday, and it ended up in both sides trying to death push each other and nothing happening.
I think death pushing is a much safer option, though. I think rather than invading, if they're going for the death push, I think that definitely provides them with the chance to get a kill, but they're not really hurting themselves too much.
Yeah, it's not as big as hurting as running into their jungle blind, but it still doesn't help as if if DSU entire team was was seen in that bush before they could do anything. Orianna, Xayah, and Morgana could get deep wards and get really useful information for this early game.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility, but I think with the way they played that going into that bush specifically and not going any further,
yeah,
they were unable to actually be able to see beforehand. So,
but I'm assuming they were expecting Hecarim to go a little bit deeper there and not just do the really safe ward right there. So it looks like both the junglers are starting on their bot side here. And I'm assuming we're just going to see full clear from both sides and then maybe try to make an impact here up top side. Hecarim just finishes his red buff here. Morgana starting W. The biggest annoyance that it is. I really hate the damage on that.
yeah, the fact that she can just throw it down and look at that right there. Doesn't have to even hit the ability that much. If she just throws it on you directly, it does enough damage to hurt.
Yeah, and
the cooldown is obviously very little.
I think it's like 8 seconds, like level 1, but it also just applies a burn effect.
Level 2.
Ooh, level 2. Tom Kench going really aggressive here, knocking up the Morgana, but Morgana getting a root onto the Aphelios, and that kind of stops any other engage that they're able to do here in this lane.
Yeah, that's actually crazy that the Morgana decided to upgrade Q there instead of E, as she was getting dove in on.
Actually, it was the smart call, as
it did work out.
Yeah, it was a smart call, as she didn't really have a need for Black Shield at that point anymore. So making sure the Aphelios can't follow up on any damage basically confirmed that none of them would die there. Looks like Corky is being shoved in here, but he's doing a really good job of staying on farm with this Orianna. Actually, we'll get more farm because he has about half a wave left alive, I say, as he just kills the half the wave.
Graves is getting the push top side. Both junglers have reached their buff areas, at least.
Yeah.
Crab spawns in the river, so High Weeb Alert should be going for that, but so is Hecarim, so they're going to meet up here, both hitting the vision
plants. It looks like a Moo is just going to be giving this up. We do have Corky roaming over, so maybe he is going to try something, but looks like he realized he can't do anything here, and then back up to let Corky go back to mid. And
this is where when I'm playing jungle, I always just run across the mid lane to get that second crab, because I don't want to get double crabbed.
It's always a safe option to go like the safe option like they are, even though we do see UND pinging, most likely predicting that he is gonna go on this bottom crab. But it's always safer because then they don't fully know for sure. Morgana root coming down, instant cleanse from the Aphelios, really good cleanse, or he would have died there.
That's something we didn't look at. That Dragon also has cleanse,
Which
so
into this team makes a lot of sense.
yeah, he's got the
Especially
Tom and the
Morgana.
cleanse, so that's really big.
And Xayah root, so he'll have a lot of cleanse here and just a lot of peel for himself and from the rest of the team.
Exhaust for both supports, but the
Mhm.
heal for the Xayah here.
The Xayah. It's actually a surprise that Xayah didn't go the exhaust, so Morgana could go the ignite here. And it looks like Amumu is backing in the bot tri-bush here. Looks like maybe a Morgana root miss, and it looks like they're just giving up the chase here. As Graves is pushing in Mundo.
Yep, they're almost reaching level 6 though, so Mundo is almost towards the level that he should be safe.
I'm an ADC main, so when I see top lane and mid being level 6 by 5 minutes, I'm just like, okay, who are you and where's my experience? Because I'm always used to like getting level 6 by like 8 minutes, and it's really rough.
DSU going for Dragon here,
I would
but
say
they're found out.
A really early Dragon start, but the entirety of UND started to rotate over, so they had to cancel that. Interesting choice, actually, because they didn't really have the health bar for that. And I don't think Amumu's smite was up, so it's not like you could use that as like a safety smite to get
I
health.
think Amumu's smite it's on its second recharge right now, I think.
Okay.
So I think he had one for sure. But like you said, the health bars weren't huge. If they weren't noticed, that Dragon would have been free, and they could have gotten away with it. But because they were found out, the only option is to leave.
Yeah, definitely. At least they do get out without any deaths from UND being able to collapse on them. So at least they were able to get out and reset that fully. It looks like Hecarim is not going to find the Amumu here, but Mumu is going to be nearby for this counter gank. Corki having a really nice W, and Mumu instantly jumping off of his Raptors like a good jungler to try to counter gank there.
Yeah, that was a really questionable gank attempt, in my opinion. Corki in the middle of his lane, not really that pushed up, playing towards the bot side. Has his W, is level 6, and has flash. I don't know why Hecarim would use his Ghost.
Yeah.
And
he did use Ghost.
He used Ghost.
I was it wasn't a terrible idea to maybe get Corki's flash, but like Corki had everything up.
The problem is his pushback will never do enough with the W.
Morgana root hitting the Tom Kench here, but they're able to get a little bit of damage. Tom Kench W actually missing here a bit.
Gonna get that ward though, so they'll get that control.
Tom Kench going for that control ward. I think one of the funniest things you can do in League is when somebody's trying to take out your control ward, replace it, because you're wasting 75 gold just to deny 30 gold to the enemy. And it's probably the funniest thing ever.
It happened to me the other day, and I was upset. I was like, was that really worth it?
I would say it's just like it's worthless, but it's just like the mental damage that it does to your opponent just gets to them. So it looks like DSU looks like making another call to go onto this dragon, but it looks like Morgana is kind of hovering, and I think they do have a ward on this dragon here.
All 4 members from both the entire mid to bot side are headed towards this dragon, but DSU picks it up.
Yeah, and it looks like actually Hecarim blast planted it over, so they should be able to pick him up as a kill here. Mumu getting really low.
Fighting on all fronts.
Mumu actually getting first blood here, and Tom Kench and Mumu both extremely low. Mumu still alive somehow. Dragonstone Hunter going in super deep, and Corki able to pick up a double kill. I was just fixated on how Mumu didn't die there. I missed the entire fight there.
Yeah, honestly pretty crazy that nobody died there. They're going to go back in here.
I'm saying they're going to go back in. Philios, what are you doing?
No.
Blue team double kill. Oh no. That was not the play. Well,
The fight happened around the
Yeah.
Dragon Pit where DSU got the Dragon, and they were able to pick up 3 kills along with Aphelios stacking up his chakrams and the Corki damage coming out. But DSU elects to go back down to the bot side, and they find an Orianna where I think maybe if the Tom Kench W lands, they might win that fight.
if the Tompkins W land, they definitely won that fight, but it was very risky with how low their health was that I honestly wouldn't have gone for it.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know what you think, but I think that they go for that every time because that's just who they are.
I mean, yes, they
I
go
don't
for it
blame
every
them.
time because that's who they are, but logically, they probably shouldn't have gone for it.
I think they're skilled enough that it's always. It was definitely not a bad try, but
No,
the outcome was not what we wanted for
No,
sure.
definitely. The outplay definitely was there, just unfortunately didn't happen this time.
But
Mumu is an alcove, so we might see a cheeky little bandage toss over. Tom Kench W missing, Zaya ulti instantly coming out, and Mumu unfortunately getting caught as a really good black shield by the Morgana to stop any sort of Mumu stuff happening.
Yeah, that was basically the exact thing that we talked about in the champion select, that Morgana stops Tom Kench and Amumu, which just happened, and they get a free kill because of it.
Man, so
With that fight in the river, though, 2 kills went to the Corki, but it's a little bit okay because Ori got the 2 kills as well. So they're both nobody really gained an advantage in the mid lane through that fight.
Corki actually has his Muramana completed already, so that's actually a pretty high power spike for him, actually.
And he's got the tier stacking.
Yes, definitely. So once that turns into... It's Muramana into Mana Moon.
Man immune, yep.
Yes, okay. I can never remember the name because they're so close. Once that does hit Mana Moon...
Sorry, it's not. It's Man immune into Muramana.
Okay, yeah. It's one of the two. Yes, Mana Moon into Muramana. So once it transforms into Muramana here, it'll actually give him quite a bit of extra damage as that item gives you more damage based on how much total mana you have. So it's really good on Corki, Ezreal, anybody that can benefit from the extra damage but also needs a ton of mana.
Yes, yeah, for sure. DSU pushing in the bot lane. They've got 1 tower plate, looking to get their second one here, but UND is really low.
I didn't say that Zaya is really low. Having to use the Morgana Black Shield there to stop Aphelios route. Almost said stun.
But the Hecarim is running down the lane. Ult coming out from Aphelios.
Yeah, Aphelios
Stun
ulti coming
hits.
out. Very nice purple gun ulti there to get the stun on the route onto both Zaya and Morgana. Morgana did get the route onto the Kench, but it was before... It wasn't able to stop his W, so they're still able to pick up that kill.
Yeah, the W still hits there. Graves going for an interesting play.
Yeah, not doing a whole lot with that ulti. Mundo going in, popping his ulti, and actually is getting kind of getting really low here. As we see, Graves does have his Hull Breaker completed, so
Definitely a power spike from the Graves on top of the Mundo right now. Mundo get
Definitely.
it back. He'll probably get his first item, I would guess.
can
Oh,
we see
maybe
gold,
not.
please? X. Yes, thank you. No, because he's only sitting on 300. He must have just... Actually, he just bought, so he actually might have it. No, he decided to go for boots. Also,
Package.
this man is going Trinity Force. As
he's
we just
running
see
at
him running at the Graves. I mean, might as well. You have the damage for it. And you're going to force him out of this lane without his TP up. So you're able to get quite a bit out of that. And Corki, it looks like, did pick up his package for this dragon fight, which we were talking about. And it looks like they are starting this to pull it out. I don't know if they know where Hecarim is, but...
It doesn't matter. This dragon's going to be dead before Hecarim can be here.
They'll be able to burst it down before anything.
Well, maybe it's taking longer than we thought. Aphelios isn't there.
And say Aphelios isn't there, but Corki does still have package to disrupt Hecarim trying to come over. So that is another pickup for the side of DSU. And this is the times that we're talking about with Corki package. Just those like very like big game-changing scenarios like Dragonfight here. We see Hecarim and Orianna actually catching off
Oh, no.
Corky here, and they're able to pick him off. I don't know what fully happened there, if maybe Corky was trying to get a pick onto the Orianna with package.
Yes, Corky walked up, he walked up from the mid lane river, from the bot lane river, and he ulted across the lane onto the minion wave and the Orianna, but the Hecarim happened to be within striking distance, so came over and 2v1 the Corky there. He had no chance.
So,
bot lane fight happening.
Yeah. Actually, Aphelios was really low. It's like stopwatch was used from the Morgana. That level up giving Aphelios quite a bit of health here.
And he has red gun, so he'll be gaining HP every hit.
Yes, true. I forgot about that. I can't play Aphelios because it hurts my brain. Too many guns.
Too much skill.
Too many guns. I play Jhin. I can operate with a single gun that turns into a sniper, not 15.
Going aggressive.
Yeah, and say Kench getting rooted here and taking quite a bit of damage. Looks like Mumu and Mundo got pushed off by the Orianna here, but we do have Hecarim nearby bot lane. Looks like he is going to try to come in. Doesn't use Ghost. Knocks back the Kench and then walks away.
He has no ultimate and no Ghost, but
Yeah.
DSU has 0 summoners on their bot side, so
It was worth a try.
I think because his bot lane was so low, if he would have got them involved, they would have been killed. So
Yeah, I
it was
think-
probably smart to back off.
I think Aphelios and Kench could have probably turned that around pretty hard with how low this UND's bot lane is, but still wasn't a terrible effort.
No, definitely not a bad attempt, but Tom had ult as well, so
Yeah.
anything bad happening, he's just getting out of there.
And it looks like Hecarim is hovering around to maybe do the exact same thing again. Deciding against it again.
Oh, wow. Gale Force forward into the Morgana.
I would say a really nice Gale Force from that Aphelios to pick up that kill onto the Morgana. I didn't even realize he had his Gale Force completed.
Yeah, both Dragonson Hunter and Sacred Turnip both have their first items.
Yeah.
But Dragonson Hunters is way more effective right away, at least. The Eclipse will need some more.
A few more items
more
to
items
actually
to-
get online.
Yep.
Okay. Because I want to know your opinion. What's your opinion on Hullbreaker?
I think that Hullbreaker is an item for solo queue. But pro play has kind of proven me wrong, but doesn't matter because Amumu is just
I'm
and
saying
Mundo are just teaming up to kill this Graves and finally get Mundo back in this lane.
I'm saying very nice gank from Mundo here. So here's my issue with Hullbreaker. It encourages split pushing, and split pushing 90% of the time. If you're only split pushing, you lose the game. Because then your team's constantly in a 4v5 and can't get objectives.
Yeah, I guess the only thing with that is if you are the person that doesn't go Hullbreaker. Oh, nope, fighting having a mid
I would say, Kench
as we're
jumping in.
talking.
Please let us talk. Please stop fighting. And we do see Mundo finish his Trinity Force here. I just saw that in chat.
Hullbreaker, if you don't get it and the enemy does, you are at such a big disadvantage.
Yeah, because
it's kind of become meta to just go if you're in a champion that can go it, because otherwise you are, even if you're playing well, you're still behind because you didn't go a certain item. So very mixed.
Yeah, the extra defenses that you get from it is outrageous, but like even when you ping the item, it like tells your team who's too close. So it just, in my opinion, it encourages split pushing, and I don't like that in a team-based game like this.
Yeah, but I mean, in a competitive team environment, I think the split push is one of the most useful things that you can do. So I think in ranked and in casual play, I can understand it, but I think that it can be used to a high degree in competitive as well, though.
Yeah, but they also know how to rotate for fights. Not in my silver elo ranked games. People don't know how to rotate for fights. But it looks like UND is setting up for Dragon here. Can we maybe get a little bit
Aphelios
zoomed
ulti?
out here?
There we go.
There we go. Aphelios ulti coming down, actually chunking the Morgana quite a bit.
The TP Mundo TP bot lane while that was happening. to fight the Graves.
Corky is picking up package now and has teleport and is coming in with this package.
Oh.
Just because I want to get that misplay, I replayed it. I hit the replay button.
No.
Hecker ulti coming out isn't able to get much off of it as DSU
huge
blew him
Orianna
out.
ult.
Very.
Lots of fighting coming out. The Xayah dies. Mundo is running onto the two people towards the bot lane, but they kill the Mundo.
Say they're able to pick up the Mundo.
Ori had a huge ultimate in the Dragon Pit right there. It was pretty crazy.
You said Orianna, I thought Morgana, and my brain exploded.
Don't worry. Colby he's back online now.
I'm good now. Don't worry. Mundo stopping, not Mundo, Mumu stopping his Grompio to try to jump onto this Orianna, but wasn't able to get the bandage toss. But Kench and Aphelios pushing in mid and was able to pick up a tower off of that, and maybe two actually.
Yeah. DSU is getting ganked from behind by the Graves. Aphelios and Tom. He might eat him here. It's just really no way that they can get out.
I'd say super close. Just the damage from this Graves just a little bit too much. Flash from the Kench to get out here.
I'm not going to lie, the Graves pick is looking very strong right now. Kind of seems to be doing quite a bit of damage in these few fights that we have seen it take a part of. The Orianna played really well until she misses that ult. I don't know why I said that. The caster cruise just happened to Orianna. DSU won that team fight in the river, though. They got the dragon.
Definitely.
I think it was 1-for-1, maybe.
I think it was 3-for-1, if I'm not
3-for-1?
mistaken.
Okay.
Yes.
But I mean, either way, they win. They get the dragon. They're stacking.
Yeah, definitely. Kench backing here. Just a quick look at items. Looks like Graves is going towards the shield bow. I'm still very confused by this Trinity Force build on the Mundo, but you know, Mundo goes burst sometimes, so Sunfire Aegis just coming out online for Mumu. So, and Mumu was sitting on a ton of gold because he just also bought half the components to Force of Nature.
Yeah, I think the only thing with Mundo is, well, as we were talking about him, he's getting ganked by 3 members.
I would say by 3 people here. Without ulti, he's going to have to flash out.
Oh no.
Orianna and Hecker multi coming down. Very nice for both of them there. They're actually able to pick up the Aphelios as well, but Kench is able to W over the wall. Say Corky is nowhere near to try to rotate here, so this is a pretty free Baron for the side of UND. They have, other than it is a 21-minute Baron, DSU has very little opportunity as Corky is roaming over, but might not be here in time.
When Corky's here, his damage is huge. This fight could easily go for DSU's favor. High Weep Alert needs to go in, though. TP coming. Going for the steal. Corky damage. Amumu damage. It's a huge play. Absolutely huge from High Weep Alert and Crimson and Bruja. That was amazing.
The very good Mumu ulti there. Very good patience on both them, Mumu and Kench there, to not go in too early without their damage there.
Yeah, they wait for it, and Crimson comes over and just dumps the damage while they go in for the CC.
Exactly.
Really questionable call by UND to go for Baron there when they don't have all 5 members there, and it's so early.
Yeah, it's the most questionable because it was early. Going for Baron after getting a pick on the Aphelios in the Mundo, and you see Corky bot lane, is actually a really good call. It's just the fact that you didn't have your probably biggest source of damage in this game, other than, I guess, Orianna's probably the biggest source, but Graves is probably the second biggest source of damage for UND right now there. And it was so early in the fight that it just takes so long to pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, Corky was able to walk from bot lane all the way to the dragon and have time to kill and get Baron. So I mean, even going for that, not killing the jungler this early is just like it's just they're 50-50ing it in a fight where they had a advantage. So
definitely,
they made a really big comeback, and then they kind of
threw it
a little bit.
Yeah.
And now DSU is gonna have Baron for the dragon. So that's gonna hurt a lot because it is soul point.
Corky getting quite a bit of damage from this Graves, but Kench W coming out, knocking up the Graves. Graves walking forward, exhausted by the Kench. Corky needs to hit these rockets. And
There
it
we
looks
go.
like Aphelios is also coming down. Gale forcing forward. Got saved a little bit there. Kench going in. Hecarim actually saving him from that Xayah. A little bit of a misplay from the Hecarim there. Mumu sitting in the bush waiting for somebody to walk forward. Nice double kill from Aphelios. Did he ulti that?
Morgana died as well. I don't think I saw that. I'm not. Did that? I think Aphelios. While we were watching the bot lane,
I think
Aphelios was up in the jungle killing the Morgana or something. I really didn't see it.
Who killed the Graves?
The Graves, Dragons and Hunter actually killed the Graves. So
And then Xayah, because he also got the double kill on Xayah. So maybe Morgana died up top lane, maybe. I really don't
that's
know.
possible.
I'm
we
gonna
were
have to
so
go
focused
back.
in the bot lane that we
Yeah.
were not totally sure. But Dragon picked up for free, so that is Mountain Soul for DSU. So that everyone's gonna get that shield.
Nice shield. You know, something that was actually brought to my attention because Zuri actually steals shield with her, I think not her Q auto attack, but her normal auto attack, if I'm not mistaken. So getting a Mountain Soul into a Zuri actually isn't the greatest. Granted,
be
Zuri
true.
isn't in this game,
But we're not playing against Azeri, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
who cares? Packaged used. Kind of wish he used that for farming, but it was probably running low on
It was-
cooldown,
yeah,
so
the minions weren't going to come out from the
Yeah.
tower, so it's okay.
wasn't terrible. As I clip it for future reference, I'm joking. I do actually. We are in a little bit of lull, so I am going to play this amazing replay from
Earlier,
DSU. This Baron steal. Also a really nice
wow.
Kench W to knock up 2 there with the Amumu ulti coming out as well. That was just very good setup for this Corki damage there.
yeah, all of the Corki abilities hit at the exact same time. Bruja making a great play.
Mm-hmm. And so that was just really good all around for DSU there. That was a really good Baron play there. Looks like Kench is going a little bit of aggressive, trying to push off Hecarim from his own jungle. Going in, not hitting anybody with his W, and taking quite a bit of damage here. Hecarim ulti coming out, Orianna ulti coming out.
Flash.
Say the flash and cleanse from Aphelios, but they're able to pick up the Hecarim. Graves ulti did also come out, as we do see. It looks like Mumu and Corki pushing out bot lane while all this is happening.
Bruja and Dragonson Hunter just run into the topside jungle looking for a fight. They get a little bit more than they can handle, but
They
then
still come
they
out on top.
outplay it with their summoners and abilities, and it looked like a winning UND fight, but Dragonson Hunter making a really
That-
good flash and
A cleanse
ult.
flash as well. So if he didn't have that cleanse up, he would have definitely died there.
Going
Orianna
in.
have to flash away. Mumu going in actually. Does he have ulti? I can't tell. Yes, he does.
He uses ults. Wow, nobody's in the range.
Uses ult right when Xayah ultis as well, so he isn't able to pick anybody off with it. Felios, Mundo pushing out top as the rest of DSU is pushing out mid here. Mumu does get rooted by that Q, that Morgana Q here. We do have Elder Dragon in 3-ish minutes and Baron in 45 seconds. So looks like they are just going to get this bot inhibitor.
This will be a triple inhib and might basically seal the game.
And say at least we'll put UND super far behind, as now they're gonna have 2 super minions per wave coming in to this base here.
All 3 lanes.
From all 3 lanes too. So that's 6 super minions per wave coming into their base. Well, I should say per map of wave.
We're gonna forget that
makes
Colby
sense.
said that.
It makes sense. And we can't forget because it's probably already clipped.
Very true. Very true. So TSU
Anyways.
is gonna move over to the Baron.
Yeah.
As all of the minions are heading down the lanes. UND is trying to step out of the base while they can to maybe go for a steal here. They looks like they're walking into their death right now.
Yeah, and say they're going to have to send somebody to clear these waves, so they're not able to have their entire team here. So it's just a losing fight to begin with. Unfortunately, they do have to basically hunker down to give up this Baron play. Give up this Baron and then just clear waves until Inhibitor comes out and hopefully get a very favorable fight. Tom Kench going in onto this Orianna who's taking out Blue Buff. Flashes forward for her, but Morgana Q is stopping any sort of fight as DSU is going to be picking up that Blue Buff.
I'm
Told
honestly surprised that Heckram didn't go for a steal there because, I mean, I think
He
they
was
lose either way.
there.
But
Yeah.
they had a ward in the pit too.
He
I
was
think you
there.
just try.
Honestly, at this point with ulti, might as well.
He's got Ghost. I mean, maybe he gets
He
out
did,
and in.
yeah, and
but
say he didn't have Ghost at the
Oh,
time,
okay.
but even if you trade
Wow.
your life to get the Baron off of them,
Dragonson is just doing crazy amounts of damage on the bottom side of the screen,
Really
killing
nice-
quite literally all 5
yeah,
members.
but more Tom Kench ulti coming out. What we were talking about being able to get saved. A really nice Orianna ulti in the back to pick up a few of the DSU members, but it looks like UND can't really do a whole lot as minions are going to end the game here. So that is game 1 for the side of DSU. Very good showing. Few things that UND will probably have to look at come this next game. Mainly getting probably the bot lane off of that Aphelios. Or maybe not picking such a late game ADC and going for something that's a little bit more aggressive and can maybe play to the aggressiveness that DSU likes to play as in the bot lane.
they opted in the bot lane to play a champion that wasn't super safe and also can't really fight early. And even if DSU picks a champ that's not necessarily going to want to fight super hard, they just know that they can because they're Dragonson Hunter and Bruja, and that's
Yeah.
what they do.
Definitely.
So UND hopefully this next game will change up that bot lane because either they have to play a champion like an Ezreal or a Sivir that they banned that they can play safe, or they need to play an aggressive something that can deal with that early damage.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, we should hopefully be seeing some different picks from different bands and probably picks from the side of UND. But I think we're going to go to a 2-minute break here, and we'll see you guys start of game 2.
Tell me somebody how long he will be on my mind. He will be on my mind. He will be on my mind. Tell me somebody how long he will be on my mind.
Right, sorry about that. We are back. probably should be getting into game 2 here. I think they're just sitting in the lobby waiting for me. By the way, we have socials.
Yes.
We have socials.
We do have the socials in chat.
Very good showing from the side of DSU. Probably most likely see the exact same thing or very similar in game 2 here. It'll be very interesting if UND maybe tries to go for same bans, or if they maybe opt out like the Victor ban for Aphelios or another really hyper aggressive bot lane this game.
Yeah. Honestly, I think DSU had a really good showing, but I think they have this game they probably just looked to clean it up more. They made a few mistakes that definitely was gave UND a chance to come back in the game, and UND did come back. It was about 8 to 9 kills. I don't remember the goal difference at that point, but it was definitely a pretty even game. But then UND decided to throw at Baron, so that's where things went bad for them.
Yeah, actually, I don't know when it actually turned that game for DSU, but UND were actually, ouch, ahead in goal. And I don't know if anybody heard that, but I'm sorry. I hit my elbow on the table right next to me. But UND actually had about a 500 to 1,000 gold lead early game there, because Graves in the top lane was actually able to out-farm the Mundo by quite a bit. So, I don't know when it fully turned. Probably when all the team fights were going south for the side of for UND. It was probably about around there, but
I think the Baron is probably where that happened.
That probably extended the gold lead by quite a bit. So it will be interesting to see here, which I don't fully know what the weight up is for. Do we know for sure? The weight up? Or are they just kind of sitting in draft? Okay. No worries. What else can we talk about? We have socials. We also have two of the 3 CCL coordinators here in this room on the stream.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, please say them in chat. I would love to have a Q&A right now, as somebody asks a question that I don't know the answer to.
Yes, we've got Mr. Colby, the League CCL coordinator, and then myself as the Valorant CCL guy. Game administrator, I guess, is what our role is in CCL. I don't know if you ever saw that, but
I don't actually have that role yet, so
I guess I'm just
you're running everything now. I'm gonna take a step back, I guess. So I leave League in your hands.
Yeah.
Don't screw it up. Have a lot riding. Not a lot. It's pretty easy.
Still waiting on UND's side.
Yeah.
They are causing a few slowdowns today.
Probably just wanted to talk about what they're going to do this next draft, which I don't fully blame them, even though that's supposed to start at the end of their game since we have a 3-minute delay. But I don't fully blame them. Talking with the team is very important in this game, especially in a more competitive scene and not just solo duo. So they're probably just trying to clear their minds, get their heads straight, try to figure out what their
playstyle / picks should be for this upcoming game.
Yes, game plan is the word I was gonna go for, but yes, that as well. So hopefully it shouldn't be like a minute. Hopefully we can come up with something to talk about.
Yeah, UND, that last game, honestly, they had really good success on the Hecarim Orianna.
Mm-hmm.
So they can build off of that. On top of the Graves, one lane, and was having impact until the fights went.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, nobody in them on UND was able to have any more impact because of the gold difference.
I'm telling you, it's that hole breaker that stopped him from his damage. Helped him in lane, didn't do a whole lot in team fight.
You know what? You might be right in this scenario.
Yeah, because you lose that extra armor and magic resist, so you kind of just it becomes a really nice tank item to, like, I think like a 45 additional AD item when you're around somebody. So that's why it also encourages split push.
We got a question in the chat asking what we think of Renata.
All I'm gonna say is sticky hand. I don't think her W is highly annoying. But the biggest issue is you decay faster than you're able to kill anybody, so you don't really take advantage of the revive all that much. But when you can, it gets really frustrating when you're playing against Renata.
You're playing against Zillion, but just a normal ability.
Exactly. An ability on like a 12-second cooldown. And her ulti, in my opinion, is just a giant charm. Like,
yeah, I think she's pretty good, in my opinion. Bruja said this to me, that you kind of compare Renata to a Lulu, in the fact
Yeah, I
of the
could
way
see
they
that.
play.
I can see that.
Obviously, they're different, but both the range sorcerers.
Plus sticky hand.
Yeah, her ult is really interesting, but I would agree, it's definitely kind of seems like it doesn't last long.
No, it's like
It's really short.
It's like a 2.5 Zillion plus Renata. It's like I think it's a 2.5 Berserk, because it gives them like a ton of attack speed, and then they turn on to their allies and attack their allies.
Yep.
But 90% of the time, they'll only get like a single auto attack off because they're
Yep.
running to their allies the entire duration. That's why I basically call it a charm or a fear, like a mixture of both.
Yeah, Dragonson Hunter in the chat does not like Renata, apparently. He said
Place a
useless
control.
champ.
Oh, place a control ward before her ulti. I'm assuming it would probably prioritize champions, but you could have a point.
High Weeb Alert might just be the biggest brain, though.
Yeah, might just be the biggest brain out of all of us. It is funny. I will admit, it is funny when you ulti a minion wave, because then you just see an entire minion wave turn on the team,
Nice.
and it is so funny.
We also got an 80 Lux in the chat, but I think that was a troll.
It's definitely a troll.
Nice.
And it looks like we're actually getting into Champ Select. If we could get that switched over real quick. Maybe. There we go. Okay. First couple bans on the side of DSU is Leona Zinzao. It's about the same. Actually, bans are exactly the same as for game one here for both sides.
Yeah, this is really questionable. I'm not going to lie. The UND banning the Victor Vlad again is not what I wanted to see.
DSU is banning the Sekrum here, which he didn't make a huge impact in lanes itself, but he did become a big annoyance for this Amumu early game and kind of stop any early game that Amumu would be able to have here. But Zeri gets through.
Now that is interesting.
Oh no.
UND prioritizing the Tom Kench and two mid laners.
Yeah, why the Vlad though? I really want to know why the Vlad.
Not totally sure, but they've decided to pick up the Amumu Jinx on the UND side, trying to take that away. But Jinx, I guess, could have gotten banned in the next rotation, but they had time to see.
Yeah, definitely. And Trundle getting basically instantly locked win.
It should be.
Which I kind of just figured would happen here.
This Trundle into Amumu is just worst matchup possible.
Well, yeah, Trundle into any tank is just
I mean, Amumu is
atrocious.
I would really love to see High Weeb Alert go for some invades this game, because he is definitely a safe
Definitely
jungler.
can,
He
yeah.
really likes to farm up and go for a few ganks, but I'd like to see him play aggressive with this, honestly. One more pick coming out from DSU and UND before the ban rotation.
I'd say they're really thinking about this. My guess is they're going to pick up support. Wasn't expecting Sona, but kind of figuring support. Sona actually makes sense
Sona makes sense with Zeri.
because healing and shielding.
shielding.
Yes. Yes,
Yep.
that makes sense. Karma would have also been a really good pickup for Zuri, because Karma's shielding is outrageous. Lulu was still on the table, so there's quite a few actually supports they could have gone here.
Yeah, I'd love to hear the reasoning for Sona over any other supports like that.
Probably the healing is probably my guess. Is just the healing on top of shielding from like going airy is just super nice for Zuri.
Wow, the Diana picked up for UND, which I would assume is going towards the mid lane.
Mumu support, Diana jungle. No, it's most likely Diana
So
mid.
Mumu support hasn't been meta for quite a long time now.
It became meta when they changed his Q to have 2 charges, and then it fell out of meta when they jacked up the mana cost of Q. So that's kind of where he fell off in meta. And UND actually banning the Mundo, they did not like going against that. Malphite ban coming out yet again on the side of DSU. Other than this Hecarim, we're seeing about the same bans from the side of DSU here.
Yeah, they must have some sort of in on UND playing Malphite here.
Yeah,
in the past.
probably from their op.ggs. They probably saw quite a bit of Malphite play, which is understandable. He's a really fun champ, really easy to learn as well, so can have a huge impact in any fight. And it looks like the last ban is going to be Corki, which is understandable as he made a huge impact both early and late that game with all Corki packages and everything.
So UND going towards banning 3 of the last game's champs for DSU, and then 2 champions that they haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Vlad,
I'm still questioning the Vlad. Victor kind of makes sense, but Vlad is just like, what? But
yeah,
I could see maybe just not liking to try to gank a Vlad, as he is very difficult, as he can just pull under the ground and get away pretty free.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely think that the Vlad is strong, but I just don't think it's worth the ban. But
Yeah.
the Urgot,
Orin's going to come out for the side of DSU, because they've been talking about this.
Orn or the... Never mind, Mundo's banned.
Yeah,
Never mind,
Mundo's
never
banned.
mind.
That's why Orin's going to come out. They were talking to me today, at least a few people were talking to me today, how Mundo spell shield actually stops Urgot ulti and his E, and there's the Orn. So Orn W would actually do the same for both of them, at least for his E, but we also think his ulti as well, so that's why the Orn
You
pick
think
is coming out.
Orn's W stops Urgot's ulti?
Yes, because Orn's W makes him unstoppable.
So if Orn W's and he clicks and Urgot clicks R, it literally just cancels?
I believe so, yes.
Is it cancel and give the ability back? Or
No, it should just get rid of it. Like if he uses it on a spell shield or something like that. Like if he uses it on a Mundo, like if he hits Mundo with it, it doesn't get rid of his spell shield, and then he tries pulling it back.
yeah.
It should just pop off the spell shield, and then nothing happens. It should be the same with Ornn, other than the timing is really difficult.
Yeah. We've got Yasuo coming out from DSU for that final mid pick and
Gangplank.
What?
I'm telling you, Mumu support and Diana mid. I mean Diana jungle. I was correct. And then we got Urgot top, Gangplank mid.
Wow.
Guaranteed. There's not a guarantee, but guaranteed. That was a complete joke of a statement, but it looks like actually that's what UND is planning on doing this game. So, very interesting. I have not seen a Mumu support for a while now.
I guess now we know why they had a little break between the games trying to figure out their comp.
Trying to figure out who was the most comfortable playing in the Amumu to try to get a high Weebler off of it. Because as we said, even if you're extremely far behind on a Mumu, all you really have to do is hit a Q and then ulti. And as long as your team's there to follow up, you can win any team fight no matter how far behind. So yeah, definitely not wanting to waste a ban on it, but decides to pick it up instead.
Yeah, we've got Defmoss in the chat getting really excited about the Ornn.
Yeah, definitely.
He loves to play Ornn. It's about his main champion.
Ornn is fun.
That's our Rocket League CCL.
Yeah, the third and final coordinator that isn't here right now.
So very excited to see the Ornn come out. I think that this game is might probably be decided in laning phase, to be honest, the way that these matchups are looking.
Yes and no. Because Gangplank gets disgusting late game. And I mean one-shot any carry disgusting late game.
That might be true, but I don't think that DSU is going to allow this to go past mid-game.
Probably not. They'll look at a very decisive ending victory. One thing I do want to see this game, because it can happen, I want to see Yasuo ulti off a Trundle pillar, because it can happen.
Yep.
And I want to see it, because if you didn't know, Yasuo can ulti off of Shyvana ulti, because it gives a slight knockup if she hits somebody with her dragon form. It gives him like probably half a second time frame to actually hit the ulti, so you have to be spamming your ulti. But I've actually done it before with a friend, and it's probably one of the most hilarious things ever.
Yeah, that should be something that they try literally like at level 6.
Well, yeah, at level 6, Trundle just come in, hit pillar, and then instant Yasuo ulti.
Gangplank has his W, which is his heal / CC cancel.
It's a cleanse, but cleanse doesn't cleanse knockup. So
can he cleanse? He can't cleanse Yasuo's ults.
I don't believe so, because
Okay.
it's still considered a knockup.
Okay.
So he would be able to get health afterwards, but he wouldn't be able to cleanse the entirety of the
Gotcha.
knockup itself.
Gotcha.
Actually, wait. No, cleanse doesn't even work on suppress anymore, because they took that off, so you can't even take it into a Malzahar anymore, if I'm correct. Because you have to pick up the QSS tax into a Malzahar.
Gotcha.
So, which I really don't know, the coding for Gangplank's W, so it could be the exact same way as the QSS item, but it definitely will not work on knockups.
Gotcha. Looking towards the bot lane this game, the Jinx and the Amumu against the Zeri and the Sona. This is going to be DSU repeat running at UND. They're going to run in, trade as much as they can,
And
back up,
run out.
heal up, and
Run back in.
speed exactly back in.
Okay. I think I've told this story on stream before, but my favorite thing as a Zuri is the movement speed you get with her ulti. I actually had one time I was playing with a friend who was playing Thresh, and I had ulti and about 800 movement speed built up. He would throw out Lantern, I'd take it, and then instantly run back towards the team, starting to get more stacks until he had Lantern again. So I was like running back and forth through jungle for a solid like minute, just building up movement speed. So her ulti can get very disgusting late game when she has the Titanic Hydra and Hurricane built. It gets extremely disgusting.
And then obviously the Eternity Force.
Yes, definitely Trinity Force. I think build might have changed because they did change Zuri's Q to actually apply crit damage. So the build might have changed to more of a crit based like Kraken Slayer, because you should be able to proc Kraken Slayer pretty fast, or even a Gale Force for that extra mobility. So we may be seeing like maybe Gale Force into Hurricane into. Honestly, you could still pick up a Tiamat off of that, but probably something similar to that.
Yeah, but I mean, like we said, it's just going to be DSU running at UND on repeat, backing up, healing up, going back in. Definitely looking for this Trundle to have a lot of impact.
Yeah, definitely early. Trundle can be very impactful early, as his damage is pretty high for an early game jungler.
Yeah, he's literally the strongest level 1 in the game.
Yeah, and can like almost 1v1 anybody in the game, especially if you're a tank.
Yeah.
So.
No, definitely.
It'll be interesting to see here.
We got a question in the chat directed towards me.
Yeah, who do you think winning this game?
Who I think is going to win. I mean, and this one should be obvious.
Definitely SDSU.
Of course.
It's the first name that came to mind that wasn't playing, so.
Of course, DSU is my pick for this game and every game that we play in.
Yeah, definitely.
But had to answer the question, Colby had to give us a great response.
Amazing response. Probably also another clip coming
Valid
through.
input.
Everything valid here. We have about 30 seconds here for a spectator delay. But, yeah, this will be a very interesting game, too. Something that UND did actually do, and this might have came across as maybe their original plan was to bring out the to Mundo Jungle, not Mundo, Mumu Jungle. But then when they saw the Trundle, they probably decided to push it into the support role and look at something that maybe can actually play well into a Trundle. whereas Diana does have pretty early game damage, and she can be quite a big threat early game. So they probably were looking at maybe just moving into that, so Trundle just couldn't run over this Moo and have the entire map open from the beginning of the game.
That might be true, but there also was very little interaction between the junglers and actually fighting in game 1. And Highway Alert's playstyle was pretty passive.
Yeah,
so,
but he is pretty passive on the Moo, so that's kind of why you didn't really see a whole lot early, whereas him on the Trundle will most likely be trying to go a little bit more aggressive here into that. Looks like we're getting into game. Looks like UND is noticing that Zuri has cleanse right away, so we will see Zuri with the cleanse here into the Moo. Actually, this is really good for Moo Q and ulti and Jinx traps here, so very good summoner spell pickup from the Zuri here. Otherwise, I see DSU has 3 Trinity Force, lethal tempos on their side. Got some nice Ornn dancing up here in the top side. As we're kind of getting a little bit of dancing around here. Yasuo misses an early game Q.
Both teams looking for the 5-point here.
Yeah, it's saying they didn't have the greatest death boost opportunity, so just decides to 5-point here, get a nice early jungle ward, as Trundle is heading bot here, and it looks like Diana is also heading towards her blue side. Nice mastery level 5 flash from the Yasuo.
Crimson really showing off his prowess on the champion.
Yeah. Played him enough to get mastery level 5.
Not good enough for 6 yet, though.
Nope, not good
maybe
enough.
he'll get it this game.
Maybe in a couple months. You'll get there, champ. Otherwise, pretty normal start. We actually do see the Urgot not getting to lane right away, just to maybe give the idea of Diana starting topside here, just so they don't fully know, as you do see him missing ping coming out on the side of DSU. But yeah, other than that, pretty normal start otherwise.
I'm not sure if that's going to actually work, because the bot lane also showed up late, so I'm not sure if that's going to actually fool anyone in that.
It can still work, because you don't know if they started. Usually it's like you see that the bot lane show up late, so you know that she started bot, but if both lanes start up late, then it's just kind of a 50-50 type of thing. So missing, but you calm down now.
Colby getting flamed in the chat with multiple clips already. Oh,
don't worry about it. We're just making content for Maddie. A lot of damage actually coming down on the Zuri. It was a really nice Moo Q. Another one hitting, and that's gonna flash coming down from the Zuri. Exhaust coming from the Amumu.
They're gonna really heal back up here with these pots and the Sona healing.
Yeah, with Sona healing coming through, though, but we'll be able to heal this up, but it will be at the cost of Sona's mana here. Diana trying to make a level 3 gank actually here. Missing the dash, but he's going to dash right back onto the Yasuo here and able to pick up that first blood. Actually, it looked like Gangplank was doing quite well for himself. Mumu missing that Q this time.
UND just going aggressive on all fronts right now.
Definitely very different than what we saw last game. They're trying to hit this game hard and snowball hard. So very good job here on that early game gank from the Diana. Try to get this Gangplank ahead and hopefully get him to a point where he can just start one-shotting people. My prediction for this Gangplank, as another Moo Q hits, as Zuri's able to dash away, and Sona's getting some nice damage onto the backline here. But my prediction for this Gangplank build, as we already see the Sheen, which completely cancels my prediction. But I was expecting him to go Prowler's Claw, which looks like he might be going
Trinity for
Sunder.
Oh, you're right.
I'm thinking Sunder.
Probably Sunder. No,
but I was kind of expecting the Prowler's Claw with what is it? What's the build? It's like Prowler's Claw into Essence Reaver. Yeah. Essence Reaver and then Collector. It's just disgusting because he's able to do quite a bit of damage because his crit scaling is outrageous.
Oh, another one hits.
I'm gonna say another Moo Q hits, and they're actually able to pick up a kill here. Zeri using Cleanse there to maybe try to get out, and heal did come out from Jinx to help them, to save them a little bit of health, and they're able to run down that Sona. This is kind of why I questioned a Sona pick, whereas somebody like Karma isn't as squishy as Sona, but also provides just as much shielding as somebody like Sona. Or even like Lulu. Like, they banned Lulu to stop it from being Jinx Lulu bot lane here, but like, I would have rather seen like a Lulu Karma instead of a Sona here. Trundle coming bot lane here to maybe try to clean up onto this Moo. Pillar coming out, slowing him down. He's getting auto-attacked by Jinx, flashing for the Moo.
W was not up?
Trundle W?
Yeah. Did he?
Yes, he had it down, just wasn't enough movement speed, so he decided to flash for it instead of taking more damage from the Jinx auto-attacks.
Well, at least he got the kill. Maybe he didn't need to use flash, but it's okay. Kill going back towards DSU as they're going for Dragon right away, but so is UND. They don't want to see that.
I would say they do not want to take this fight right now, as granted it is a 3v2, but with Gangplank nearby, they definitely have the damage over DSU here. As barrels coming down, and some nice damage from those barrels, but they are going to give this up as Zuri rotates up.
Really love to see how DSU is prioritizing dragons more than I've seen in the past.
Especially early.
Yeah. But that's what the Trundle pick allows them to do, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Amumu can never do that type of thing by himself.
Yeah, definitely not. Which I really do like when teams do try to prioritize that early dragon, as it may not seem like a lot, but getting a dragon at 5 minutes, as we do see Diana trying to get a gank here. The Jinx traps won't hit on anybody. Zuri W coming out, dashing away as Trundle is here. Both exhausts from both supports coming out, as Trundle is getting quite a bit of damage, and another kill going over to the Jinx as she is getting some really nice damage on this Rockets. But what was it? Oh yeah, because if you take a dragon at about 5.5 minutes, then that just means you can get soul by like 20 minutes. Instead of if you wait till like about 15 minutes, then you won't get soul till like 35-40 minutes in the game. So I really do like to see teams take dragon this early, especially when they get a huge pick that allows them to take it this early. So very good job on the side of DSU. Very unfortunate gank there. Diana coming down and being able to get quite a few more kills here for the Jinx. So the Jinx is going to start to look scary.
Yeah, this Jinx has a noon quiver and just killed Azeri, and
again,
if she couldn't have flash.
Yeah,
Bruha's
she
going to live,
W'd.
but that's
Barely.
a 4-0 Jinx.
That is a 4-0 Jinx.
That's extremely scary. I mean, she might back here when have almost probably
can we see the gold here?
Item.
She actually she is 110 gold off of Kraken Slayer right now.
Wow.
A 10-minute Kraken Slayer is going to be insanely good for a snowball for USD here.
Our predictions were wrong with bot lane so far. We were really expecting USD to just run at them, but instead it's been UND with the Q on repeat from the Moo and the Jinx just hitting from afar.
Some really nice Moo Qs coming out and able to pick up a lot. Diana flashing for some reason. Ulti coming out. Gangplank ulti also coming out, and they weren't able to get anything off of that. Very interesting that Diana decided to flash onto the Trundle, because she flashed onto the Trundle and then missed her Q. So very interesting flash, but they're still able to pick up a lot using that Gangplank ulti and picking up this Trundle here, as it looks like Diana's maybe trying to go towards top lane here. I also do want to point out that Zuri has opted to go for the Trinity Force build, it looks like here. Other than that, it seems like builds are pretty normal. Going to Trundle smite this, as we do have Ornn ulti coming down. Urgot ulti coming out. Ornn getting fled, but Yasuo, there's a very good Ornn knockup. Yasuo ulti was able to pick up that 1 kill. Jinx Rocket not able to do a whole lot here, as Gangplank is hovering around this blue here. And it looks like Yasuo Tornado missed, and they'll both just kind of go back to lane.
Yeah, both junglers die for fight in the jungle for the blue buff.
Yeah, blue buff very important here. And it didn't even get taken. DSU just really wanted to save it. Jinx W missed. You know what, I just realized this is the battle of the Ws, because both Zuri and Jinx's W are basically the same. Unless Zuri's W hits a wall, then it becomes a mini Lux ulti. But we don't talk about that.
Yeah. Looking around the map at the CS differences, the bot lane, while Jinx is up 4 kills, which definitely puts her in the lead, Zeri has a 10 gold lead. It's about 20. It's about 30 in the mid lane. And then top lane is more towards the Urgot with just a 6 CS
5,
lead.
4, 3,
Yep.
2.
Never mind.
Never mind.
No, not really a difference there.
Jungler is also a camp or two ahead here. I don't play jungle, so I don't know it like the back of my hand, like how Weeb Alert does. As we do see Gameplank running away, he's actually getting a very nice Diana ulti, doing quite a bit of damage to this Trundle. And Yas almost able to pick it up.
The
But
Jinx shut down though.
I would say it looks like Zuri and Sona were able to jump onto this this bot lane and getting a really much needed double kill for this Zuri. That'll help her get back into this match a lot. Will probably allow her to pick up a Trinity Force, at least get a whole lot closer to it, and put her on the map of this game really faster. I'm running out of words.
Yeah, this Diana is playing really well this game. Very aggressive.
Very.
Lots of ganks and different kills coming out from her. She's also gained a lot of gold, so she's doing insane amounts of damage right now. The Gangplank getting caught out in mid, but she just said, nope, I'm going to turn this real quick.
Yeah, definitely doing a really good job being in the right places here. Also taking advantage of the lead that she does have, making sure Trundle can't get into this game early here. And we do see the Trinity Force come out for the Zuri here as red team UND slays the dragon. And we do have Hextech Soul. So rip our dragon icon in the top left.
Yeah, I mean with that, the dragon is picked up because of the strength that UND is at right now. There's the Jinx and the Diana and the Gangplank are actually all just hit very strong points in their builds. So
Definitely. Oh, and also I was wrong again. It's Essence Reaver first item as we see two really good Moo Qs coming out onto the Yasuo there. But we actually see the Essence Reaver from Gangplank, which also means he's going into the Prowler's Claw, like I was saying. Also, I do want to point out that Hextech Soul is going to be very tremendously good for both sides here, as you have Jinx with basically a static shift charge, but also Urgot, Diana, Gangplank, all is going to be amazing with that static shift charge. But you also have Zeri, Yasuo, Trundle that will also benefit a lot from this static shift charge. So definitely something that both teams are going to have to look out for is Hextech Soul here, as it looks like UND just took Herald.
yeah, they are taking everything on the map right now, and the only thing that DSU has gained so far is they did double kill the bot lane a few minutes back, which was really big. Definitely keeps Zeri in the game. If not, they might be winning, just the way they're playing at least. But the jungle in the mid is having a very big impact for UND and a struggle for DSU right now.
Yeah, definitely. That double kill definitely helps Zeri a lot, but doesn't really help the rest of this team get back ahead. As we do see Diana hovering down bot lane here.
With the Herald.
With Herald too, I forgot about that. Even though I mentioned it a minute ago. It looks like she's just decided to go on Crab here, as we do see Trundle also hovering nearby. Also looks like they are going to meet. Looks like Trundle just runs away as Orin heads mid. Alright.
They are switching lanes, Orin and Yasuo, because this right now GP is just queuing Yasuo and doing almost half, like a quarter of his HP per Q.
I don't like that.
Oh no.
Jinx able to pick up a kill onto the Zuri. Trundle blocking the rocket there. Sona also flashing to dodge it.
Tower's gone.
I'd say tower is gone as Diana does throw down Herald here. And
UND is doing a great job of just pushing this snowballed lead to its full extent.
yeah, definitely. They're able to go super aggressive here early, and they're just able to push this aggressiveness so hard. Nice Urgot flash into the E there to pick up that Orin kill. Make sure he couldn't get away even with that flash. But we
Wow.
do have objective bounties coming out for the side of DSU, so Yasuo is topside, getting some nice damage on that tower. So if they're able to pick up a tower or two, objective or two, they definitely can come back into this fight. I also still have to look it up. DSU is 7.5K, 8.5K down, but I think the threshold is 5K. I want to say it's 5K. Makes sense that it'd be 5K, but I still need to look that up.
Yeah, I know that we talked about the last time
Yeah.
we were here.
Yeah.
But DSU struggling on all fronts. 8K deficit at 15 minutes is quite a large one.
Yeah, definitely.
That's any team fight that DSU takes will most likely not be a win for them unless they have numbers or a crazy CC chain.
Yeah. At this point, DSU should be looking for picks. Playing it a little bit slow, looking for like the off chance that one of them is super out positioned and they're able to blow them up. Especially like this Jinx. If they can try to find this Jinx out of position, granted she doesn't have a bounty, but still be a huge pick for the side of DSU, get some more gold into their pockets. But they really just have to play this slow until they get some items, wait for more late game. They do have some insurance though, as Yasuo gets really good late game. Zuri gets really good late game, as Sona is getting collapsed on here. But they also do have Orin items, which UND has to worry about, because Orin item is basically a free another half item on top of the mythic item that they already have for his entire team. It looks like Zuri is going to find 3 of them here. Gets hit by the Jinx Zap, throws out her mini Lux ulti, and not a lot happens out of that.
Yeah, DSU is going to give this dragon for free because, like we just talked about, they cannot fight right now.
No, they cannot.
You honestly, even in 5 minutes, we might be seeing them give up that dragon as well, but they will be fighting for soul for sure.
Definitely have to fight for soul. You do not want to see UND get a 25-minute Hextech soul. That will basically be your demise. I also hate how that did 891 damage to every single minion. Gameplank actually went for Collector here instead of Prowler's Claw, so he must have just had the gold for Collector and decided to pick it up. But Gameplank's damage is outrageously high. I hate going against it. He just has so much security with his W, but also a ton of damage. Really nice Zuri E over the wall and then W backwards to get some nice damage there. Which I didn't realize you could also W inside your E while you're going over a wall. So you learn something new every day.
Yeah, Dragonston Hunter learning from past mistakes this game of allowing the Mumu a chance to get him in that area. So just jumping over the wall. Very good play. We definitely really need to see DSU probably find a pick or something here, or some sort of objective, because as of right now, they're going to just walk up on an Amumu.
And say they have to be really careful here.
Zeri going aggressive.
Zeri
Could
going very
easily get
aggressive.
this kill on the Jinx.
Nice flash from that Mumu ulti.
Huge.
But Mumu ulti was able to come down. Sona ulti comes down as Zeri is very low.
One more
has
heal.
to be very careful. Oh no, the heal coming up from Sona, very clutch. The Mumu flashing to try to get something, but wasn't able to get it. Mumu, and Gameplank ulti coming down, but Sona was able to pick it up. And Gameplank is running down bot lane to try to clear up on the Sona. So she needs to watch out and start running, but they are going to meet here shortly as first barrel comes down, second barrel comes down, and wasn't able to get the triple barrel.
No range.
So, no range. So Sona was able to survive there. Unfortunately, Zuri wasn't able to also pick up that double kill, but they were able to get both Mumu and Gangplank's ulti down. So they're able to get some pretty big cooldowns off on the side of UND here, and it could be just what they need to maybe try to push for a tower or an objective to try to get some more gold under their pocket. As their god is coming up top to make sure Yasuo can't push this out anymore, pushing him off that lane, putting him in a very sticky situation as he's about to run into a Mumu. And Diana over the wall, taking this second Herald. Mumu was able to find him with a Q here, hitting him with the second Q. Yasuo knocking him up. Urgot ulti coming out, and that's gonna seal his demise. Okay, no, I thought Zuri was able to pick up something bot lane, but no. as it looks like second Herald is instantly coming down in mid lane here. DSU has to be careful as
They might be looking at losing an inhib.
yeah, UND is starting to crack open their base here. So DSU getting even further and further behind as we see the gold lead has gone to now a 10.5k gold deficit on the side of DSU here. And they can see that as Jinx has a half an item above on this series. Both supports still doesn't have their mythics completed. But as we see a huge 3,000 gold lead, as a huge fight's coming out, Gangplank ulti coming down. Trundle is actually able to heal quite a bit there. Ornn in the middle of everybody, kind of just getting blown up, but they were able to pick up Mumu. Looks like with Ignite, Urgot flashing forward, but we do see Yasuo trying to perma split top just to try to get some gold in their pocket, as he's in no way to try to, Gangplank's doubling Yasuo's gold right now. Yasuo is not in really any situation to try to team fight right now. Neither is the rest of DSU, as we see. I saw 2,000, probably like 2,500 from Urgot to Ornn here, and then another about 2,000, 2,500 from the junglers. So really the only closest there is for the side of DSU is this ADC role right now.
Yeah, the only positive is that the gold difference has been about 8k and it hasn't changed, so they're not further behind than they were.
It's actually 12k now.
Oh, I did bad math.
But yes.
Never mind.
The UND is doing a really good job of just snowballing this game tremendously. They really need to try to get a pick off on one of these bounties. If they're able to pick off like Gangplank or even Urgot here, that'd be a really nice bounty to get on somebody. They also need to get this objective, as they are just trying to rush it down. But it looks like UND is not in a good situation, so they are just going to give it up. Jinx Rocket coming out, almost stealing it, but they had the patience to hang on to that smite.
Honestly, DSU making the best play possible.
Honestly, that was a really good play, taking advantage of the fact that UND was backing there to pick up on that objective bounty there, because that was a free 600, 700 gold in their pocket, and
stalling out the soul that would basically end the game for them.
Now instead of a 25-minute soul, we'll see at least a 30-minute soul for the side of UND here. But also evening out the Drake, so now this soul can be anybody's game here. As we do see UND making efforts around Baron, as we see nobody on the side of DSU is able to try to contest that. But we do see Yasuo hard pushing bot lane, so even though they will get Baron, DSU will get some more objective bounty here with that tower.
Yeah, I mean, DSU is just looking at gold trading at this point, because there's nothing that they can do.
All they can really do, just get Yasuo on this two item power spike, get Zuri on her 3-item power spike, and as she just completes her Titanic, let Ornn items come out, let Trundle build up some defenses against this team. I would have honestly rather seen him gone like maybe more defensively and not the Sunder, as he is extremely far behind, and Sunder doesn't really give a lot of defenses to like help that. But it looks like Yasuo is just trying to trade a tier 2 here. Nope, it looks like he actually is backing, so I was wrong in that. Gangplank ulti came out. That's what it was. I'm like, I heard Gangplank ulti, but he probably cleared wave in the bot side there, so Yas couldn't push. A very good use of that ulti here. But Urgot is pushing up mid here, but it looks like he will be.
Urgot's not going to get out here. This is going to be a fight.
Yeah, and say Zuri going very aggressive. Yasuo coming forward, missing Tornado.
Oh, wow.
Sona being very chunked hard.
There we go.
I just want to point out, Gangplank is doing no mythic Gangplank apparently, as he is on his 3rd item, but still does not have a mythic. A nice flash from the Zuri, is able to take out that barrel before. That was an amazing shutdown.
Woo, the rocket comes through, but Dragonson Hunter saw it and got out of there.
Let's say,
these are really big plays from Dragonson Hunter here. The Ornn ulti coming out from Pop, knocking up the Urgot, and Dragonson Hunter getting that kill, plus then going aggressive onto the gangplank in the mid lane and getting that kill as well. So that is bringing DSU back in this game slowly.
Yeah, very slowly.
Slowly but surely, because it's still about a 11k, 12k difference.
Yeah, it's stayed about 11.5 now. It actually gone down a bit, but this just showed like UND actually got, I think, 2 towers and inhibitor off that. So them being able to stay the exact same gold lead behind is tremendously good for them, and it will allow the Zeri to work towards her Hurricane and just be more of an impact in these late games. I did try to hit the recording, but I also saw that our recordings are down because we're out of space, so I will not hit the play because I don't know what's going to show up, and I'm kind of terrified. Don't worry about it.
Well, we've got Dragon spawning in about a minute 30, and I don't think UND is going to allow DSU to do the exact same thing that happened last time.
Yeah, no, looks like they are going to try to get wards up, make sure they're not backing here, just so they.
Diana could get caught out here.
Yeah, Diana could easily get caught out here. It looks like she is going to, as Mumu isn't nearby. Ornn doing a really good job to make sure Jinx can't get into that fight. Unfortunately, it does go on the Sona, but a very nice pickup here. Mumu ulti coming down. They do have to watch out for this this gangplank, but Zeri doing a really good job of destroying all these barrels as she's going forward on picking up. Ooh, very good
Dragons
showing.
and Hunter literally carrying this fight and this team right now with these crazy plays.
Being able to run through the entire team, but they do have to worry about their base, as Yasuo is getting beaten out by this Urgot here, but the rest of the squad is rolling up now, able to pick up the rest of his wave and help the Yasuo here.
Yeah, I mean, at what cost? I don't know, but they got 4 kills onto the Zeri, or 4 kills total. I think 3 onto the Zeri, and they may have lost an inhib plus an inhib tower, but I think that
they're
so much closer.
They
now.
lost a single tower for that fight.
So worth.
Yeah, definitely worth, because now Zeri has her Hurricane, and is actually 2,000, I believe. 2,000 gold ahead of this Jinx, about 1,500 actually. But we still do see a 4,000 gold difference in mid lane here, and also about 2,500 in jungle. So the differences on the side of UND is still tremendous, but Zeri definitely becoming a huge impact this game, as we do see Ornn items starting to come out onto the Zeri and the Yasuo. Would have probably liked to see the Sona, but maybe she wasn't around. Unfortunately, there's not a lot DSU can do here, as Urgot is bullying Yasuo and Ornn away from this dragon fight here. But that doesn't matter, because Zeri's going aggressive onto this dragon. They still have to worry about Urgot barrel, though. A single barrel could take out this Sona. Zeri, both. But Zeri mainly. Trundle walking forward is able to pick up the dragon, but UND able to clean up onto the rest of DSU. Sona barely getting out with her life, but they're able to pick up the Trundle and the Zeri. And that could result in the end game, so maybe not fully as worth as they thought, unless Ornn and Yasuo can make something happen. But no, Yasuo ulti is going to come out, and this could be game here, as it's just Sona and Ornn versus the entire crew of UND here. Ornn ulti coming out, only hitting up the Urgot. They have 10 seconds until Trundle's up, 11 seconds till Zeri up. Can they make it last that long? And looks like no, UND is just taking out the inhibitor, the Nexus, and is able to pick up that second game. DSU was definitely making a comeback. That dragon fight was probably not the option. I know they really didn't want to give soul point to UND, but that just kind of ended the game for them, as they did, yes, pick up the dragon and the bounty for it, but UND was able to take the fact that they got 2 off of that, and honestly 2, like the biggest lead that DSU had at that point, off of the table. So UND was just able to run down mid and just clean the rest of DSU. Very good showing, almost great comeback from DSU here, but really good showing from UND and DSU. Looks like DSU, it will have some things to think about, maybe some things to take off the table. High Weebler wasn't the greatest on Trundle. He wasn't as aggressive as we would like to see, and then when he did get behind, he still tried to be aggressive there instead of just sitting back and trying to farm up to a point. So he got really punished for that, and that also helped Gangplank gets so super far ahead here. And actually, I didn't pay attention. Did he even pick up a mythic that game?
No,
No.
Gangplank did not pick up a mythic
So
that
I
game.
don't know why he decided to go collector instead of and then IE instead of into the Prowler clause like I thought. So very interesting there.
Yeah, I really wish that, and just in that last dragon fight, I think it was definitely worth trying to steal, and Highway Blur was able to steal it, which was really big. But I think honestly, Zeri and Sona, Dragons and Hunter and Brew, really should have tried to just back off and been like, he's gonna go for this, and that's all we can do, because it's a 3v4 there.
Yeah.
And they don't have any tanks that are like actual tanks, because Trundle was really not that tanky at that point. So, yeah, I definitely think that it was really good comeback from DSU. It was happening, but that all they had to do was make one mistake and it was over, and that was the mistake.
Definitely putting Zuri in an opportunity to die there and basically remove all the damage from DSU was not the greatest play there, but still very, very good showing from both sides here. And I think we will take a quick 2-minute break. Oh, 15. It looks like we're going to go to about 10-15 minute break here as UND asked for a break here. So we will be right back when everything is settled here.
Told me stop it, so much hate it made me nauseous. Worked in silence made me cautious. I exerted every option, count me out. Must think I lost it, losing sleep. Somehow I fought it. I heard life was a box of chocolates. Ain't shit sweet round here, it's toxic. Made the most of what we got. We go hard, been through a lot, so we party till we drop. Tell the neighbors it won't stop. Watch your shorty hit me up on days I need to pick me up. I just wanna live it up. Can somebody lift me up? I should have said. But I slept on those words instead. You haunt the stairways in my head. You're the monster under my bed. Reach for me when I repent. And I should have learned. I should have learned. You're the monster under my bed. Making mess I keep trying to address. Cannot come to terms with the monster under my bed. I told you secrets I should have kept. You spill them up as I collect. But I fall for it half a million times. Like a bad old house, just one peek inside. You're the mystery with hell of a history. My hands are red. You're the monster under my bed. Reach for me when I repent. And I should have learned. I should have learned. You're the monster under my bed. Making mess I keep trying to address. Cannot come to terms with the monster under my bed. Yeah, I should have learned. I should have learned.
Welcome from that long break.
Long, painful wait.
I don't know what I'm doing here. When everything's reversed, I lose. Anyways, I think we're getting a lobby set up. I think we're waiting for like one UND guys. Don't really know why they wanted such a long break, because in my opinion, like, you're on such a high what are the right words?
You're on a high focus and in the mode in the game, really in the. I don't even know what you're going for here, man. I can't even help him.
You came off of a really demanding win with that second game, and then you're just like, yep, 15-minute break. Let's forget all about it. Let both teams reset, instead of just being like, yes, let's just jump straight into the third game. So who knows? Maybe they just want to keep us here for a while, but excuse me, they should hopefully be getting into the champ select here shortly.
Well, maybe.
Maybe
Not really
sometime
sure.
today.
But I guess going over the last game,
It was so long ago.
it was very long
Okay,
ago.
we're in it. Victor, Diana makes sense on the side of DSU because that was very impactful this game. Vlad again. They really want to ban out that Vlad. We're both really tired now.
Yeah. The series has gone
Way too long.
much later than we had anticipated, but that's
Yep.
okay.
Zinzao ban coming out for the side of DSU. Also another really good ban, as Zinzao can be just as aggressive early like Diana. Kench ban coming out. Looks like UND is just opting for their same the same bans here. I'm assuming this will be a Zuri ban, or UND will pick it up unless DSU is confident. Oh, this actually looks like they're going for Morgana. Zuri first pick, if I'm not mistaken.
It also could be a Jinx first pick here.
Also
I
true.
think the Jinx pick would be.
Or the Amumu support again.
What do we know? I mean, honestly, we are not in UND's heads, and
This is why they needed the 15 minutes.
prioritizing Amumu.
Exactly.
In this series, Amumu has become number one pick, number one priority.
For UND.
Nobody foresaw this happening,
Nope.
but here it is.
And there's
DSU,
Azuri. I would like to see somebody that's not Sona with this. Leona, it works. I would have really liked to see maybe a Karma or a Lulu, but Leona definitely provides enough peel for Azuri here.
yeah, that's what DSU was missing that last game is anything that can stop UND, and that's just what Leona can do, because Sona just didn't have that last game. It just
No,
didn't work the way they wanted it to.
Zuri got collapsed on, and Sona couldn't do much because her healing isn't the greatest early, and then she's also squishy, so she walks up, she will also explode just as fast.
Yeah. Jinx picked up by UND, so the Jinx Amumu coming right back at him.
Yep.
It's the same matchup except for Leona is different, so I definitely
And there's the
brand new.
Gangplank. So the exact same team other than Diana on the side of UND here. Definitely something that they have to worry about. And Nunu instantly being locked in for DSU here. So it looks like they are putting High Weebler on to basically Nunu. Yes, Nunu. Just basically buff Grump and then just gang somewhere, try to make a huge impact early. We do have Urgot Mundo as the two bans for the second half. And then last ban for DSU here is Malphite.
Yep, the ban the Malphite all 3 games.
Yep.
Definitely, they're looking at 2 new champions in the top lane, I think. This game.
Unless
Unless they pick the Graves.
I'm gonna say Corki's actually a really good ban here, as Crimson Samurai did a really good job on the Corki here in that first game.
I would really like DSU to opt out of picking the Yasuo this game, as it was not successful last game.
It did not go over well for DSU, so Ari would actually work really well, because with her new change to her R, allows her just to be super mobile and even bigger of an assassin than she was. And we do see the Ari pick, so this should go over really well for Crimson Samurai. The new Ari, even though I think her damage might have went down since they changed her ulti, but her ulti now is just tremendously good now.
Yeah. DSU saving the top lane pick for last. They get to see UND's top laner, which honestly the top lane matchup has mattered quite a bit in both games.
Yeah.
Last game, if Urgot wasn't so strong, DSU might have been able to come back more. But the Volibear pick,
That's jungle.
that is probably in the jungle, and that's
Most
that's
likely
what
jungle.
I like to commonly refer to as the Pog Bear.
The Pog Bear.
Volibear is my most played champion in the game, so I very much enjoy seeing that. So happy to see that picked by UND.
Definitely.
But they have one more pick. That's probably the jungle, but Volibear can be played top lane easily as well. So
And it's
Nope.
twin top.
Yep.
I kind of figured it was jungle.
So I guess we'll see what DSU is looking to pick for that top lane. Something to counter Gwen, hopefully.
Trindamere maybe. I know he plays maybe Kled. No, Kled wouldn't be great to Gwyn. Trindamere. I was right the first time. Gwyn jungle. It is not Gwyn jungle. It is Volibear jungle, good sir.
Redneck Ninja just absolutely trolling in the chat, but
Get your troll builds out of here. No troll. I know Gwyn jungle is a thing, but it's really not that great.
yeah,
Especially in a competitive sense like this, it's not that great.
this draft was pretty good for I think both.
Yeah, both sides. Kind of unfortunate that UND did get the game clink and the Jinx Mumu bot lane that allowed them to get super far ahead. But I think DSU worked around it a whole lot better. Getting Crimson Samurai on Ahri is going to be 10 times easier for him early game instead of that Yasuo. Nunu is just going to allow High Weebler to be able to be more of an impact, hopefully, than what he could on Trundle. Overall, I think DSU's roster this time is just a whole lot more to what they like to play and their strengths, and it should hopefully go a whole lot better this early game for DSU.
Yeah, they still allowed UND to have those strong picks, but I think that what made those picks so strong last game is the unexpectedness of the Mumu aggressiveness. Into the Sona and the Zeri and the Diana just running everywhere and doing so much. But with the Diana gone and DSU's bot lane knowing how they're going to play this lane, the Zeri Leona should be fine this game. And if not, a winning lane / they should go even at least, unless jungle pressure can change that matchup a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. As it looks like we're waiting for them to get into champ select here. But if I remember... Now I gotta remember. Let's see. I already forgot top lane matchup. Gwyn versus Trindamere. It's late. It's too late. Gwyn versus Trindamere. Honestly, pre-6 should be Gwyn's favor. Post-6 should be Trend's favor, only because of his ulti.
Yeah, Trindamere is just the champion that can run at you until he decides that he doesn't want to run at you anymore. He'll probably run... I could see him running Ghost this game, depending on what the team talks through, but TP is also still really good, so...
No, if anything, he's going to run Ignite before he runs TP.
That's fair.
He's going to look for the kill pressure in lane. He'll probably run Flash Ignite, and then he can, Flash E if need be. Yeah. This Nunu versus Volibear game, this jungle, is going to be, again, if they meet up, very Volibear heavy, but Nunu can easily run around the Volibear the entire game while also making just as big as an impact early game as this Volibear. So I'm really hoping to see High Weebler try to be on the map a whole lot sooner and make more of an impact. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Volibear definitely beats the Nunu very easily, but Nunu with his healing and his stuns, the fights will take a little bit for the Volibear. So early on it would be short, but most likely there's going to be some sort of laners or someone else coming around to help before that fight is decided. So really shouldn't see too much fighting between them. The only thing to look at is the Nunu having that bite for the dragons and the Baron the different objectives, should be able to win the Smite fight theoretically every time.
Because that's about like 1,800 damage right there if you Q smite an objective.
Yeah, even if as long as you do it within that range, the Volibear has no chance. And
Has zero chance.
that matchup sucks because no matter what, the Nunu can always steal it from you, and it really feels bad.
Because you just can't outsmite a Nunu.
Nothing.
Unfortunately.
There's nothing you can do.
No.
We did get into champion select, so they are going through what.
Yeah. So it is Gwyn top, Volley jungle, Gangplank mid, and then obviously we know the bot lane. We kind of figured it was Jinx Mumu. So yeah, very interesting. This bot lane, I feel like it's going to go in DSU's favor only because UND is going to be super confident and feel like they can go super aggressive this game, and then Leona's going to be right there to make sure Zeri can't die as easily. So I really think this is going to go in DSU's favor, just the fact that UND is going to be super confident on these two picks.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, that DSU knows how to play against this now. I mean, that's one game, and Dragonson, Hunter, and Bruja probably took those almost 20 minutes of waiting. They have a whole plan for this, and they were waiting for them to pick the exact thing, and they changed their support pick, and they know how they're going to play against this. So I have full confidence in them that they will win, if not at least go even in lane, because they are very smart players and very good. So they will adjust. They won't do the same thing. They won't make those same mistakes. So they might bring more jungle pressure to them, or they'll just avoid playing the minions more. Be able to peel. It should be much better this game.
Yeah, definitely. This mid lane matchup, that's the one we haven't talked about yet. Ari's going to be really great on roaming, especially when she gets her ulti up. It's going to be kind of like Corki package. Like, look out how she's using her ulti to like try to roam to bot or top. If Crimson Samurai can get a couple really good roams here on the bot lane, they're going to be super far ahead. They're going to be able to snowball tremendously, and that'll really help DSU's chances here. But they still do have to watch out for no mythic Gangplank over here. I'm really curious to see if he'll actually pick up a mythic this time. Maybe he just forgot. Maybe he thought he already picked up the Prowlers. Yeah. But they really do have to watch out for this Gangplank, because no matter what, he'll still have a presence this entire game with his global ulti and just how much damage his barrels can do.
Yeah, Gangplank played really well last game. I wasn't really sure going into it because it really depends on the player. Gangplank he can do a lot of damage, but if you're not playing him correctly or using his barrels and his ults in the right places, you actually don't have that much of an impact. But this Gangplank had a lot of an impact.
Yeah, it also helped that Diana made such a huge impact early in mid lane to allow him to snowball just so much faster. So that was a really good ban by DSU to get that Diana off the table. So yeah, we'll see what this Volibear can do to try to help this Gangplank, but hopefully Crimson Samurai won't get cut out as easily, and they're able to make stuff happen here around the map.
Yeah, DSU, honestly, they just have to not allow a snowball to happen the way it did last game, because they're always confident in the mid to late game fights, but if they never get to the mid to late game fights, then it's much harder for them. They just allowed all three lanes to just get snowballed. So then if you're losing everywhere on the map, they took UND got every objective for free. I mean, DSU couldn't even fight. They couldn't do anything. And
the one that DSU did try to contest resulted in a game ending for them. So it was very rough for DSU this last game, but they most likely talked it out. They most likely know their game plan now. And we will see as we get into this game 3. We just have about a little over a minute left on this spectator delay. If anybody has a quick question, unless you got something to say.
I think the overall comps are basically the exact same that they have been in the previous games for like their general and damage and tanks.
And aggressiveness level, because Volibear can be really aggressive early as well.
But UND has opted towards the 2 tanks this game, which they hadn't in the first game, but they did in the second, which was where they found success. And DSU is going back to that 2 tanks and 1 bruiser. So DSU changing it up. This top lane is going to be much more volatile.
Definitely.
It's probably going to decide quite a bit.
It's going to result in one top laner being extremely important for this entire game, and one top laner basically sitting in a side lane the entire game. It's Gwyn Tryndamere is most likely going to end up that way.
Yeah, that is definitely what I was thinking as well. But hopefully that the junglers can have some impact. We're really looking for High Weebler to have a better game.
Early game, just make an early game impact somewhere.
He tried a lot last game to make his impact shown, but every place that he went, he was just stopped, and most of the time ended up dying.
Yeah, he just got super far behind, so he wasn't able to actually do anything. Yeah, but one thing I have been saying to my B team recently is just play to your jungler's advantage. Like, if you're playing an early game jungler, then I better see you ganking at level 3. Like, just stuff like that, just stuff you have to keep in mind. So, hopefully High Weeb Alert can make, oh. No, this is the same. For a second, I thought their mid lane was different.
Nope.
Okay. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So hopefully High Weeb Alert can make a huge impact here early on here. And let's see what DSU is going to be doing here. Looks like they are going for the invade. Throwing back to classic style here for the invade. They might be able to catch out this Amumu if he isn't careful about it. Is Leona going to flash? No, doesn't have to flash. Tryndamere and a nice charm from, unfortunately, going on the Nunu, but very good charm on the Ahri there to finish that kill here. And that first blood going on Nunu. So even a bigger chance to allow the Nunu to...
Oh, no.
Even a bigger chance to allow the Nunu to make a big impact here.
Bruja having some fun in the bot lane. He went what's the rune called that he went?
Glacial
Augment.
Augment, yeah.
So he went E first, got on him, and that automatically slowed the Mumu down.
Very volatile on engage supports right now in the bot lane.
They didn't even have to go for a flash.
No, he didn't even have to go
just
for
ignite.
a flash. Yeah, just ignite use. So that's really good. Here for the side of DSU, and hopefully Nunu can make stuff happen with that extra 400 gold in his pocket.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's gonna. Hopefully it helps, but I'm not sure if that's actually gonna have a crazy impact, just because it is on the Nunu jungle. But hopefully it does.
Yeah, definitely. So after that first game, oh, did you alt tab? Alright, a little bit of freeze. We're not gonna worry about it. Just normal early game stuff happening. Both teams just kind of farming here.
DSU playing behind this minion wave much better than last game, because level 1 they got ran in on, but
yeah,
Mumu is not in a good place.
Ooh, getting that Q off. They're actually getting quite a bit of damage onto the Zuri. Missing the second hook here, but Zuri is getting super low here, as Leona is also gonna take some damage. Zuri's going back in, needs to be really careful here. Another Mumu ulti Q coming down, and this is exactly what we didn't want to see, as Leona having to flash away from that.
We talked about it quite a bit. We talked about how the bot lane was, they had a plan, they were going to play it differently, and
resulted in the exact same thing
happens.
Yeah.
Mumu Q just being up so fast, and Dragons and Hunter out there.
Yeah, UND only using their exhaust here too. So UND still has all their summoners to play with, as Nunu's trying to make a lane gank. A missed charm, but
he had W anyways.
I would say he had orange anyways, so he was gonna get out of it, but very unfortunate. That charm would have probably actually allowed Nunu to hit his snowball there, but it probably wouldn't have resulted in much since he did have his snowball there. Looks like Leona's come down to help with Crab to get rid of the shield here, as Volibear is on his Raptors. It looks like Gwyn is making going deep into the jungle to try to get a deep ward here, so they can see when Nunu walks by, even though he did already walked by there. As Tryndamere is freezing this, which is really good job on him to try to freeze this. just try to push this Gwen off, and he's actually doing quite a bit of damage to her. I say as Gwen Q comes out, and that's a lot of damage.
You know, that's okay though, because Trojans has his heal. He's gonna heal up just a little bit to even out the health, but Gwen's gonna back, so he's gonna continue this freeze.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna say, Trojans has a heal, flash, and exhaust all in his kit. It's very fun to play against. Mumu Q hitting again. Volibear flashing forward, and they're able to blow up the Leona here and pick up the Nunu as well. Zuri able to get out by jumping over the wall.
These games, this third game is actually happening identical to the last game. The double kill by UND's bot lane on DSU's bot lane, and then the failed gank from DSU resulting in a death, in multiple deaths on DSU's side.
And there's 4 kills for Jinx. I think earlier this time.
I mean, I don't know if this is frustration plays from DSU or what's happening, but they're kind of just running into UND, and UND has the advantage.
They're playing Zuri like she's extremely busted early game, and she just doesn't have the damage to justify running at them like this 24/7 in this game. But DSU does keep doing that here. Able to not really get a footing here, allowing UND to just snowball hard just like the last game here.
The only positive compared to last game is so far there hasn't really been much for mid lane pressure, but this could result in a kill here.
I'm gonna say this could easily result in a kill, forcing Ahri to flash, but unfortunately running. Oh, that was a very nice 6 level up there, but Nunu will unfortunately go down here, as Ahri isn't able to make up anything with the rest of her charges there. And Nunu getting the kill as well, which is very unfortunate to try to help here. But Mumu is nearby, as it looks like they are going to collapse onto this Ahri. Very good roam by the Mumu there. Probably some miscommunication from this bot lane here to know that they were missing. But very good job on the side of UND. Also good job on this Jinx for playing safe when the support is gone. But yeah, it's looking about the same as the second match. Like Nunu was able to get something, but unfortunately stole the kill from the Ahri.
Yeah, that really hurts.
Yeah, definitely. And they were able to pick up the 2 return kills for only Gangplank that fight. So UND definitely coming out on top and already have a 2.5k gold lead here, as Amumu and Jinx are going a little bit aggressive because Volibear is hovering down bot side. But I think Zuri and Leona have learned their lesson by now and are starting to play a little bit more safe here. As Trojans and Gwen are just kind of facing each other down. See who can out-heal the other.
Yeah. UND has shown why Amumu is the #1 pick priority here.
Honestly, like, I need to look at their OP.GG. Like, this is just a random pocket pick that they pulled out, or like, is this something he plays repeatedly?
I don't know, but he is just continuously hitting those bandage tosses on everyone. He's moving up the river,
doing
helping
an
out
amazing
everywhere.
job on it.
And DSU's having a hard time tracking Amumu, like where he is.
He has not played a single ranked game this season on Amumu, so may just be a pocket pick from back when it was really good in meta. But he's doing amazing on this Mumu. Really good job on hitting all of his hooks and just making a huge impact in the bot lane here.
First Dragon will be going over to UND, as DSU can't really go for this, but jungle is being stolen on the other side of the map.
At least Nunu is trying to get something, as looks like Gwen might catch out the Nunu here. But unfortunately DSU, like you said, can't really do a whole lot into that. Next Drake up is going to be Ocean here, as Nunu is looking to maybe try to get another hit onto the Gangplank here. Very nice damage. Ulti kind of exploded a little bit early. Gangplank ulti coming down. Not being able to pick up the Ahri. But Volibear is here, so Ahri has to be careful. Another level up, giving her a ton of life there.
That was a great gank.
That was a very good gank by the Nunu.
High Weep Alert having that impact that we need him to have, and making this mid lane matchup go towards the Ahri, because if DSU cannot lose mid and bot the way they did last game. Otherwise, we'll have the same outcome.
I would say it'll go about the exact same as last game here.
But we have Pop up in the top lane, just farming it up. He's not really looking for fights. He's just trying to continue to freeze the wave in the top lane area. So, I mean, he's just looking to get his items. And once Trinamir's online, that Jinx might not even have a chance of living.
Yeah, honestly, because if Trinamir can just run through the entire team, even if he has to proc ult and get onto this Jinx and blow her up before she's able to do anything, it is going to be very hard for UND to try to keep her alive if Trinamir does get ahead. And he's doing an amazing job of freezing this here, so Gwen's starting to lose quite a bit of wave pressure and minions here. As if she walks up to try to farm here, this is an extremely easy gank for Nunu. As it is sadly slow pushing towards the Gwen, but Trinamir already making use of this freeze, as he is now 11 CS ahead.
Yeah, he also did run Ghost, as we were talking about earlier.
Oh, he did run Ghost.
So Gwen running Ghost as well, but she has the TP, no flash, which is pretty common.
I could see that, yeah.
Normally she would run like a TP ignite, but
somebody missed the ward over the wall. Do you know that trick?
Yes.
Okay.
If you get a ward halfway through the wall, it'll go on this side.
It's actually a really nice and safe trick to use when you're on red side, and I use it all the time. Even sometime when I'm on blue side, like I go to like take out tower, and I'm just like, I'm gonna throw a ward down real quick. But Bo looks like Nunu and Leon are both finding control wards here, as Mumu and Volibear are kind of hovering around this mid lane. So Ari's going to have to be careful, as Gangplank's trying to bait the Ari over, but it looks like they're going to give up here as Mumu heads back down bot.
Yeah, not a whole lot going on. It's honestly, that's a good thing for DSU, as
Very good
UND
thing.
is not snowballing the way they did last game. Not
Yeah.
that they're not ahead, but they are
Speaking
not
of snowballs.
continuous. Oh, big one. There's a big snowball.
Ooh,
on the
very
Jinx.
very nice Leona ulti there onto the Jinx there. Gangplank ulti coming down, but very nice shutdown onto the Zuri.
That is
Not to cut you
really
off,
big.
but that was very big.
No, for sure.
But as you were saying, yes, it's very good that DSU is starting to play a little bit safer here, a little bit slower. The triple barrel getting some nice damage onto this Gangplank, but Nunu is coming around, and it looks like he isn't going to be able to pick up anything off of that. But DSU playing a whole lot slower here just will allow them to build up the damage that they need to try to fight this. As Leona's now coming through and isn't going to get much off of it. Missing W, as they're deciding to focus his barrels instead of him, which is always the most funniest thing to do when you're range into Gangplank. Just kill his barrels before he can Q them.
Yeah. No, that's definitely one of the better strats. As Gwen and Trinamir are fighting, but Volibear is coming behind.
I would say
Trinamir
Trinamir
just gotta
ulti
go for
coming
the
down.
kill.
He's flashing onto the Gwen.
Oh, the stun!
Isn't able to pick it up. Volibear is able to stun him. It did have to waste flash though, but did save Gwen's life there, unfortunately.
Dragon is up in 30 seconds, and both junglers are towards the top side, but Nunu can run.
Yeah,
with
Nunu
the
can get
snowball.
there extremely fast with Snowball.
Volibear, I believe, has Rift Herald
He
to drop
does,
down.
and it looks like he is not going to.
He's opting for the quick back.
Interesting. I would have honestly just dropped Herald there.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want to since Gwen was backing, so only he would have benefited from the tower platings, but I would have honestly still placed it. That's just me though.
It might be better for a bot lane push because they can maybe kill the tower completely. So it's really up to what their plan is ahead. We'll see if it has enough impact or not. But I think DSU definitely needs to go for this dragon.
I'm going to say both junglers are around here, though. But Ari is here beforehand, but Gangplank is roaming down, so they do have to be careful for this 4v4. Gwen has teleport. It's not unleashed teleport, so she'll only be able to teleport to...
This dragon's dead.
Yeah, and so this dragon's definitely DSU's. As I was talking about what UND could have done, they just kind of gave it up. And it looks like we're going to have an Infernal Soul, which is going to be deadly on both teams. Oh no.
Nope. I guess it's
Don't worry, somebody just bumped the Ethernet cord. Don't worry about it. Oh.
I'm assuming we're gonna pause in here soon.
I'm assuming. Nope, he's back.
Well.
Somebody just.
Jinx died.
Jinx died.
Jinx and Amumu just died.
And
gank from High Weave Alert.
Or a counter gank. Don't really know. We were kind of fixated on the fact that Gangplank was worrying about his dog chewing on his Ethernet cord. But very huge. Even Gangplank ulti not able to do a whole lot there, but very huge on the side of DSU to pick up those kills there.
All 3 kills on the bot lane and the jungle coming out. That brings DSU's bot lane back into it, if not ahead, I think, with the tower plates and the extra minions that she's going to be getting. Mid lane play happening from
very
Bruja.
Nice E. And this is just way too much CC from the side of DSU for Orange to actually be able to do anything. Jinx Rocket barely missing.
Yeah, that's really proactive plays coming from DSU, which we love to see compared to last game because they just kind of rolled over and died. I am glad to see them making these plays, and they're really working out. They're getting up to 2K now for their lead, so that is a positive, and the Ahri is ahead as well.
Yeah, definitely. This is a whole lot different game. DSU is just able to make a much bigger impact in this mid lane, making sure this Gangplank can't get as far ahead as he did last game. We see he's on his ER. Is he going to go for Collector, or is he actually going to pick up that Prowler's Claw? We will see here. But Volibear is up top side here and is just opting, like, should have done it earlier for the plates.
No plates. No
You're
plates.
losing a lot of gold on this. As the cavalry from DSU is coming up, New Snowball doesn't hit. Field goal is good. And the tower top lane doesn't even go. Like, if you're going to use it for the turret platings. You had it.
Yeah, we talked about that. Maybe they had a better plan, but their better plan was dying bot lane.
Yeah, I would say. Their better plan was giving up Dragon. Like, I really don't know what the call was there for. As
Ahri getting dove.
Say,
so we can get the camera over there.
Yeah, Gangplank.
Big fight happening between towers.
Nope, it looks like they're just taking out tower. Volibear ulti over the wall. Onto the Nunu and Zuri coming over the wall. Gangplank ulti coming down. And big damage from the side of UND as Jinx ulti barely missed. Tryndamere ulti down now, but he's not able to do a lot here, so he's just going to have to run away. As Zuri's in a very awkward situation here. And Gwen's going to jump on her, and she's not able to really run away.
Oh, no.
A very good play by UND, very good rotate. Volibear must have gotten past some wards, or maybe just object permanency on the side of DSU. Just couldn't remember that Volibear was over that wall. But a very good ulti by Volibear there.
No mana on the Jinx. This Ahri can get a kill here.
This Ahri, ooh, if only that second part of it could
Everything
hit.
is so close.
Gotta watch out for the barrel. If only she'd still had ulti charges. She had ulti charges, she could have easily cleaned this up for a triple kill.
If she had flash as well, she definitely would have done that.
True.
But unable to get the charm onto anybody important other than the Gangplank, who can get rid of the charm. So UND evening things up, taking a little bit of a lead in the gold area, and except for until this tower goes down, it'll even it up. But UND showing that they're capable of making proactive plays as well.
Yeah, definitely. And coming back from not actually being able to do stuff on the map when they're not extremely far ahead. It's very good showing by UND here.
Thank goodness Bruja didn't go in there, because that would have been a free death.
Be very tragic. And a free kill for UND.
Dragons up in 20 seconds again, and it's the Infernal Dragons from here on out.
Yep. Gwen will be able to make it to this fight because she does have Unleashed Teleport. Tryndamere is just kind of looking to maybe split push hard on this top lane, as he is able to pick up a turret here. But
Gwen TP.
And say Gwen TP coming down, which we kind of expected. So Tryndamere, you'll most likely see the Tryndamere just hard split pushing this. Maybe try to get a tier 2 tower. If we can get our eyes on the dragon here.
Oh, the Mumu hits and the ulti hits.
And the ulti comes down kind of forcing DSU to back off here. As Volibear is in the back line, but Zuri damage slowly coming through.
Ari doing a lot of damage as well.
Ari doing a lot of damage as well. Able to pick up another one as Zuri.
Oh, huge plays from DSU.
Yeah, those really good plays. A triple kill for this Ari. And Dragon's still alive. Dragon's still alive.
That was the biggest play of this game for sure. You have Dragonson Hunter and High Weeb Alert playing on the top side of the river, fighting two people, and then you also have Crimson Samurai and Bruja fighting on the opposite side of the river, and they're both just winning their fights.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally split fight. I don't think that's how UND wanted to play it at all, but while that's happening, Tryndamere gets, or Pop gets the tier 2 tower, which is like 800 gold, I believe, for the team, if I'm not mistaken, but
I don't know. It's a lot of gold, though.
It's a lot of gold.
It's allowing them to, off of that fight, that dragon and those tower pushes alone, went from about an even match with about, I think it was about 500 to 1,000 gold lead for UND to now 400 gold lead, 4,000 gold lead here for DSU.
Yeah, that play was the biggest of the game for sure.
Tremendous. Very good play for DSU, and it will be turning this game around. And as long as they don't get caught out or make some really stupid play, DSU should be snowballing from here on out.
Yes, Baron is now live. Dragon won't be up for 4 minutes, as we just saw that be taken. And DSU might opt to just go back to farming here for a little bit till Dragon's up, or look for a play in one of the jungles and get some vision.
As we see, Zuri has her Titanic Hydra completed, and that's about it. I really haven't played Zuri since they added the crit to her Q, so I don't even know how good like full crit on Zuri still is. It might be absolutely worthless, and that's why we see Dragonson Hunter going the old Trinity Force Titanic Hydra Ravenous.
Hydra?
No, not that one. Hurricane.
Oh, gotcha.
Ravenous Hydra is the other Tiamat. You actually can't build both anymore. There was a time where you could build both. It was useless to build both, but there was a time.
Yes. UND kind of looking for a fight, but I'm not sure if they really want it.
I think they're trying to get a pick here onto the Zuri, but Leona was nearby to kind of scare them away here. Tryndamere just doing Tryndamere things and split pushing here.
He did go Gale Force, Tryndamere, but that extra jump.
It's pretty common for Tryndamere to go Gale Force, but he did ulti there to secure that tower. He's doing his own variation of 0 damage Tryndamere. If you remember that meme from like a couple years ago, like 3-4 years ago.
Don't recall that one, but that's
so
okay.
Funny. It was literally just people trying to get 0 damage and just focus towers the entire game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he can keep having this impact in the bot lane and keep the Gwen there, I mean, the Ahri and the Zeri plus the 2 tanks win the 4v4 every time.
Yeah, definitely.
Because right now what we're seeing is that Gangplank not having the impact that he had last game.
Still no Mythic, by the way. He does have another Dirk, so I'm assuming he is going to go into his Prowler's Claw here next. Never mind, he went in Agility Cloak, and I don't think that's in Prowler's Claw. It shouldn't be. It should be a Dirk, a Warhammer.
Gwen is caught out here.
Yeah, and say very nice job on DSU to catch out this win here. She is gonna go, so it looks like Leona is running around to maybe try to very nice E from the Tryndamere to get into the base with her. And yeah, this is gonna be.
They need to run to Baron. High Weebler needs to stop doing Gromp and run to Baron.
Yeah,
because
they are on it right now. Maybe Gwen was just a distraction all along. Ooh, very nice from Leona.
Misclick on the ult.
Yeah, misclick on the ulti. The rest of the cavalry of DSU is coming in now. Mumu ulti coming out. Very good job. Very good fight here from. Ooh, barrel damage doing quite a bit to the side of DSU. And Volibear able to pick up another one as Gangplank did flash over the wall, but here's Zeri to try to do a little bit more damage as they're in between the 2 towers.
Oh,
no, just give up. Just give up. Just give up. Just give up.
No stop for DSU here.
No stop. They just want to run into the base. Zeri looks like is going to be... Okay, she is able to E over the wall, but she's still in danger here. Jinx Rocket missing. Field goal is good.
Super Mega Death Rocket.
3 extra points on the side of UND. honestly, that was way too aggressive for side of DSU. They're lucky they got out of it alive, but way too aggressive.
Yeah, they did a really good job. They just lost track of where GP was, and his barrel came in on all of the members.
Yeah, that was a very devastating GP barrel for DSU there. He was able to pick up the Trendamere and do quite a bit of damage to the rest of DSU there. Dragon is coming up. The only person not here for DSU is Ari, and Gwyn, Jinx, and GP. It looks like they are just going to give this and put DSU on soul point here.
Yeah, I don't mind this from UND. I don't think they realized that Dragon's Hunter was low mana, at least. I know he can always get his Qs off, but
Yeah.
you know, his other abilities. But they're going to run right to Baron. Dragon's Hunter has to have a lot of gold. I feel like he really needs to back here. Yep.
Yeah, 2,300 gold on him right now, which would be probably the finishing of his Hurricane, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yep.
As you say,
There
it
it is.
happens. DSU, they may have given up a few kills there, but they're still up 5k. They have reached soul point, so the next dragon is extremely important. And they'll be playing around Baron for the next 4 minutes-ish, depending on what happens. UND, in a team fight aspect, has looked not good. So I would really look for them to maybe try to pick somebody off in the side lane, or maybe go for this Tryndamere or something, because in the 5v5, the Ari and the Zeri are doing way too much damage compared to the GP and the Jinx.
It's basically an opposite of what we saw last game, where last game UND, like DSU had to play really slow and really safe because they're extremely far behind, as UND was able to get a huge snowball. But this game we're seeing quite the opposite, where DSU has a huge snowball going, and UND are going to have to be the people who have to play more safe and try to get that pick that can bring them back into this game. And it looks like they are trying to do just that, but the rest of DSU is here to help with this Tryndamere. GP ulti coming down, Leona ulti coming down, missing.
Wow.
Wowza.
Tryndamere
Ultied, so he
and
survived.
DSU using everything to try to get this a Mumu. I'm not sure why the Mumu was so important, but Crimson is not in a place that he wants to be right now.
No, this might be dashing, getting the stun off, the ulti from the volley coming out, and this might be just the pick that that UND needs. I say,
No,
as
it's not,
Zuri
'cause
is
they're
able
doing
to pick
Baron.
up the Mumu. Is Nunu just soloing Baron right now? Oh no, Tryndamere is also on it. Okay,
Yeah.
back to the fight. Leona goes down. They are just merely a distraction as Zuri just actually is able to pick up at least
Come on,
one.
they got to get it
that's-
here.
That's a 750 gold bounty towards that volley bear, which is not going to be good.
That Volibear, he might be getting that bounty, but he's already past his point of high impact.
Yeah, definitely.
So it won't matter. He's going tank, so he's just going to be a little bit tankier, but he's just going to not die quite as fast. But it's really good that I didn't go on the Gangplank or the Jinx, because that would have hyper scaled them really quickly.
he doesn't even have his. Why are you forth buying your Prowler's Claw, good sir? I have questions for you.
You know, we can question Destroyer of all we want, but when his barrels hit, they is scary.
Yes, but also Prowlers. Kind of gotta have your mythic, man.
I totally agree. It's ever since they made the change towards mythic items, it's
It's
definitely-
just a huge power spike, so it's interesting that he's not going for it and deciding to play a league in season 9. When IE was actually still the first item you bought on 90% of ADCs. Those are the good times.
that feels like so long ago.
It was so long ago. That was, I think, what, 3 years ago now?
We were just starting college.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
Jeez.
old now.
Thank you for that insight. DSU getting ran in on. by
Volley
the-
Bear doesn't have Predator, but running at DSU, using all of their CC onto the 2 tanks, but they are able to pick up both of them, as Tryndamere and Ari are just kind of split pushing. Azuri is left alone, but she's at the point where she can kite the entire team. Tryndamere making an interesting play to head up topside.
I like this
very
play.
very nice Gale Force to get out of the Gangplank barrel. Looks like he just ran up there just to get out, I guess.
Yeah, Dragon's up in 30 seconds. Nunu's up in 18. He can make it in time. It is possible.
Yes, because he gets a ton of movement speed from his snowball.
But the other members of DSU need to get there as well.
Yeah,
otherwise,
definitely.
he won't even make it to the Dragon Pit. Dragon Senator is trying to do his best.
And say Ari's nearby, and it looks like she's starting to rotate over now.
I do know she's there. She's on a ward. But they've got... Dragon Senator and Crimson by themselves have gained position over the Dragon.
Yeah, and say UND giving up this Dragon here. They are trying to come around here. Gwen looks like she's going to start it here. Trying to maybe force DSU into a panic state. Nice E onto the Jinx here.
Jinx is stuck, but nobody's there to help.
Say Dragonson Hunter getting caught out by the rest of the team, so all the only damage they have left is Ari. Say the barrel is hitting quite hard. Nunu ulti coming down. Ari's still pretty healthy though. Nice charm onto the Gwen. Was able to pick up this. This is a really good fight. GP ulti coming down, actually picking up the Nunu. Very good fight.
They gotta kill. They gotta find out where this GP is before they do Dragon.
And it looks like Trenimir is gonna find the GP.
Oh my gosh, huge!
Using ulti just to be safe there, and that's an Infernal Soul for DSU here. Very good fight on both sides. Just the fact that DSU was ahead there actually allowed them to win that fight.
The messiest of fights.
The messiest of fights.
Both ADCs getting caught out at the very beginning of that fight, leaving just the mid laners to do the damage.
Yep.
But Crimson was able to walk around through that fight and continue to use abilities, while GP kind of got pushed out on the side. I'm not sure what pushed him over there, but he got one barrel chain in that almost killed the whole team, and then he just left.
Yeah.
I don't know if he thought it was a losing fight or what, but
he might have gotten pushed off from that Leona, because Leona kind of made the entire team burst apart.
Yeah,
so it could have been that.
A really good flash Q onto the
Jinx, yes.
and then the E prediction over to the side with the flash into the ulti. But thank goodness Crimson was able to get over there to finish her off while she couldn't move, and things went well from there.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like they're opting to do a 1-3-1 with the ADC split pushing, I guess. It's something. I say as Zuri's starting to head towards mid lane. Looks like she was just clearing that out. We do have Baron up in a minute 17 here. So that's going to be the next objective that DSU looks to go for if they just don't win a fight here and end the game. As it looks like minions will be able to take down top tower, as UND is kind of getting pushed back into their base. Not able to do a whole lot here. Is Trenimir is actually down bot side threatening this inhibitor, and they're just gonna give up this inhibitor actually, as I say as they walk down. But Trenimir able to take it out fast enough. Lumu's only level 12. I hate how little XP supports get. But really good barrel from GP here.
Yeah, that's honestly the win condition for UND right now in a team fight. Is GP has to hit the craziest of barrels.
And with ulti down, just making sure you blow up the Zuri and the Ari, and UND can win the fight here. But if they can't blow up either, they're just gonna get ran through.
DSU pulling UND in every which direction because this Tryndamere is so strong and has survivability. Fight happening in the mid lane as we look away.
Ari doing really good job of keeping her distance, able to pick up a couple, but Zuri is down as it is just Ari now. This is the type of fight we were talking about, as she needs to be really careful with this GP. A single Q from this GP can take her out. She has to play this very careful, and most likely is going to just reset and give up this Baron. When we thought it was over, Volibear bringing back with a tremendously good team fight there.
She's gonna stop this Baron. They can't do it. They don't have the tank.
The pressuring they have to push out. They have to go off of that because Ari, a single charm can basically kill both of them there.
DSU going forward need to do a better job of recognizing and respecting the initiation that UND has with this Volibear Mumu. That's a couple fights in a row that the the CC came in and DSU was just dead. Besides the person that was playing in the side lane, and Tryndamere came over. Seemed like he was doing a lot of damage and died instantly.
I just want to point out, GP has finally built his mythic. We see a Duskblade. I think he built that 4th item, and then he's going LDR as his last item, which means his barrels are doing even more damage because small indie company. Yeah, and it looks like both teams are going to pressure up around Baron. Zuri starting this here with Nunu to help. Gwen and Tryndamere are both bot, but Gwen does have the teleport here to try to help. It looks like Tryndamere is just gonna try to run her down.
The fight's really close between Gwen and Tryndamere, so
yeah.
That's a good thing for UND, but both have to backslash just farm.
I would say GP ulti coming down, but it might just be helping to secure. Jinx rocket coming down. I would say you can't really outsmite a Nunu. It's just kind of helping there.
Yes, unless Highway Blurt accidentally
Miss-smites.
It could happen. It's happened to me before, I know, which is sad. But
Very,
it
very,
happens.
very unfortunate. Also, I just want to point out, I just realized Volibear has a Chem Tank. So the earlier when I mentioned it, I thought he had Predator. It was Chem Tank.
Yep. Yep. Full tank Volibear.
I'm very tired.
Initiate a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
This GP he is full build. Unless he sells his boots and buys a different
Visible pirate
another item. This is going to be brutal. DSU has to avoid this GP barrels, otherwise they will lose the fights.
I'm gonna say they have to avoid them at all costs and making sure Volibear can't just jump into their backline. That's how they lost this last time. They're able to pick up the top inhib. Volibear jumping in onto the Ahri. Ahri able to dash away. Tryndamere coming in on the bot side. Somebody
dead.
getting charmed. Jinx is dead. Tryndamere is dead. Zuri and Ahri just left here. Zuri ulti coming down, and Ahri and Zuri are going aggressive here.
Huge.
But with these Baron empowered minions, there's not a whole lot that UND can do here, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit of KD padding, but it looks like it's going to be DSU winning game 3 here to take the series 2-3.
Wow, what a series!
What an amazing
banger
series!
Just going all 3 games, and really close in the last game, even though DSU had the lead most of the time, and UND was still fighting back and having success. That fight could have gone differently if you replay it. I'm sure it goes 50-50 based on how the GP plays. So
yeah, definitely.
Really good job on DSU. They seem to avoid most of the GP damage that fight, which allowed them to win, keep this area alive. So DSU having great success.
It also helped that last fight, Volibear tried to focus his ulti onto the Ahri and Ahri alone. DSU did a really good job that last fight of just being very split up and making sure they just can't do a huge wombo combo like they did beforehand with the Mumu ulti, Volibear ulti, and Gangplank barrel and ulti. So they did a really good job of making that happen. Apparently one of us said 2-3. I apologize. It's probably me. DSU winning 2 to 1.
I don't know I don't know who said that. I don't think it was me, but
it was most likely me.
Colby has been saying some interesting things tonight.
I will take the blame. But anyways, that was an amazing series. Very impactful. Like very, very eventful is what I meant to say. Very, 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 just very. Amazing. Do you have anything else?
I'll take it from here. Let Colby go to bed for the night. We have a stream coming up on tomorrow for Smash. We have a stream on Friday for Rocket League, and we have a stream on Sunday for Valorant.
Wednesday for Smash.
I meant Wednesday.
Now who's in the wrong?
Mostly you. So with that, we will be signing off for the night. Thank you everyone for watching, and tune into the next streams.
Catch you guys later.
Searching for something that I've been missing.